Ladies, gentlemen, the audio is better. Thank you for pointing that out. My computer likes to change devices. Is that better? That should be much better. Merry Christmas, everybody. So,
Merry Christmas.
I will start that again. This is my friend Timur.
Yep.
Hello.
Hi.
He is the one that came up with this. I have no expectations, only curiosity. This is something that we've stolen and sort of like used on this community all the freaking time. Should we talk about how we met?
Sure. Yep. By the way, I've never done anything like this before, so it doesn't feel like I'm actually speaking to anyone right now. It's bizarre.
They're in the chat. Look, see? This guy, Xander. Xander's a legend, by the way. Chad.
Hi, Xander.
Chad is a legend.
Hi, Chad.
SK is a legend.
Hi, SK.
Benjamin is a legend.
Hi, Benjamin.
Benjamin has a question. Ask your question, dude, and we will talk. We will talk about how we met. Don't read that, by the way. That's just disrespectful.
It was a gay swinger club. Yeah.
That is not even remotely how we met. That's really disrespectful, Chad. That's not fun. Also, Chad's German. Germans don't make jokes, so I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But anyway, do you want to talk about how we actually met?
Germans are supposed to be wallowing in guilt for the next few centuries.
Yeah, Chad.
What I understand.
Yeah, Chad.
Sorry. What was your? Where were you headed with this?
How we met? We met when I was like super. So I was still in the relationship with Rani, right?
Right. Yeah. I believe, pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because I had like zero friends, literally zero friends, and I went on Meetup and I was like, all right, I need some friends. Like, I literally only spent time with my girlfriend, and we weren't super happy together. I was working up the courage to break up with her.
Yeah.
And that's part of why I had you had like a book club, like a red pill book club.
Yeah.
On Meetup, and I joined. I made friends with you. I feel like we clicked like immediately.
Yeah.
I clicked with Alex as well and a couple of other dudes there.
Yeah.
But I feel like from there, you helped me. I was working out the courage myself anyway, but you helped me through the breakup.
Yeah.
And then from there, I got into like Good Looking Loser and like learning how to talk to women. You were there for that entire journey. Then you went on your own journey after that.
Yeah.
I started learning how to talk to women. That was like 11 years ago or something, wasn't it? It was a long time ago.
I reckon it was 2014.
Yeah. 11 years ago or so.
11 years ago.
Yeah.
That's how we met. I started a meetup group. So I'm referring to meetup.com. I started a meetup group for Free Domain Radio. I expect most of your audience would never have heard of that.
No.
And then noticed that there was an existing book club with members and no leader, because you can just abdicate your role as a leader in Meetup, then anyone can take it over, which is bizarre because I also took over Liberty Melbourne, whatever they're called, and then did nothing with it and just sat on it. Anyway, that's a digression. So I had a Meetup group running for Free Domain Radio. I was interested in meeting people that are into that.
Which is like philosophy, by the way. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, we can talk a lot about that if you like. I don't know what's valuable to the audience.
Who gives a fuck what's valuable to them?
Okay.
I'm joking, guys. I love you.
well, that would make things easier if I wasn't conscious of what might be interesting to the audience.
They'll find any self-improvement topic interesting, anything on dating, anything on like happiness, mindset, masculinity.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I started Free Domain Radio. That's a podcast run by Stefan Molyneux, who I believe, and don't quote me, I don't know this for a fact, but I think he was the most protested. His event in Melbourne was the most heavily protested by Antifa and whoever runs Antifa. I mean, we have some ideas. So Stefan Molyneux on his podcast, Free Domain Radio, talks about, well, it's a philosophy podcast. He talks about many things, but of particular interest is self-knowledge and childhood trauma.
Self-awareness, yeah.
Self-awareness. Yeah. I started a podcast in a meetup group in Melbourne for that. That led into taking over Red Pill Book Club, and that's how I met Andy. And both of those meetups were really centered around self-awareness, but some politics as well.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say it was like red pill in the sense that like you guys in the audience might know. It wasn't so much to do with dating because there was some women in that red
Right.
pill book club. It was more just like taking the red pill and realizing stuff. Like it was almost more about the matrix,
Yeah,
like self-knowledge.
which is what I understand red pill to refer to. So we might be using the term a bit differently.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
thinking,
the audience thinks of, I mean, I don't want to speak for you guys, but I'll speak for you anyway. The audience thinks of red pill more for like dating. You know, like the red pill Reddit,
right.
the one that I used to be on a lot. We can talk
Right.
about that in a sec because you gave me an intervention. I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that intervention you gave me when I was like going down the path of being a psychopath to women?
You remember it better than I do because you reminded me about it and I'd forgotten about it.
That was like a huge turning point in my life. And yeah.
Yeah.
For you, it was just like another Tuesday.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about.
Because I was also dealing with some other people at the time. Yeah, I won't say names. Right. The red pill. Yeah. Yeah. So, but in the original sense, as far as I understand, it really comes from the Matrix, right?
100%.
I'm not aware of anything earlier than the Matrix that used that concept of
Correct.
a red pill and a blue pill. So to me, it's stepping outside of this artificial matrix that's set up around us to get us to think a certain way and to program us a certain way, which I believe is completely real. Well, it's completely fake, but the matrix exists in the sense that there is a man-made synthetic belief system and even spirituality, covert spirituality that's built around us.
Yeah, that's just like being raised though. Like society has certain tropes and memes and things it wants to keep going.
Right.
Society's only goal is to keep itself going as it is in its current form. Society doesn't want to change for the most part unless it sees it as progress.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, society wants you to be like everyone else in society. I don't even call it like some big conspiracy. It's just like no fucking shit. Of course, like the Matrix wants to keep itself going.
Yeah. And society here, I don't feel negatively towards the concept of society, but in my opinion, it's a society, it's a concept of society that is divorced from actual human well-being. It's disembodied. It reproduces itself without the people that make up that society reproducing themselves.
Yeah, I say society, generally speaking, wants you to be happy, but that it's not its main prerogative.
Right.
And it will sacrifice your happiness. I mean, there's a million examples of that. Like, let's talk about like Hitler and stuff like that. It's like, did German society during the war give a fuck if you were happy as a German? Fuck no. It was just like, so sometimes society will kind of go a little off the rails.
Right.
And just keep itself going as it is.
Right. Often.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I think there's a genuine challenge in maintaining a civilization that is large.
Yeah, no, it's fucking difficult. Yeah, I used to hate governments and stuff, and I know you did too. These days, I'm just like, yeah, fuck that. I don't want that job. I can't. Sometimes people ask me here in the chat, like, how do I, oh, like, what do you guys think, Andy? What do you think is the best way to run a society? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. I used to think I knew. I used to be like a little anarchist and like all of that. Now I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not going to think about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know? I'd rather form a little parallel society or a little community.
Right. Did we pause?
No, we're good.
I don't know how to run society either. I think that the big point is neither do the people that are pretending to run it.
Yeah, and I'm always
That's
cautious. I'm always cautious of people that say I do know how to run society, which is like politicians and stuff.
Right.
Like, be very cautious of people who say like I know the best thing for you, which is why like in this community we don't use words like should. I never tell people what they should do or what they have to do or any of that. It's like, you're a man, you can figure it out. I'll help you.
Yeah.
I'll help you brainstorm, but I'm not going to plan your life for you because I'm not the one that bears the responsibility of doing it.
Yeah.
If I give you advice, I get to just go to sleep at night. I'm not the one that has to go out there and face my fears. You are.
Right.
So how can I tell you what to do? I can ask you what you want to do, and then I can enable that. That's usually what we do here. Like, I will ask people what they want, and then I'll help them reverse engineer that.
Yeah.
Like how they can make it happen.
And if I frame that as what you're doing is more ground up rather than top down, would that resonate with you?
Yeah, because we start with like baby steps and one step at a time. Start from the beginning. Start with the next piece of action you can take. Yeah, for sure.
And building up the individual rather than trying to get them to merge into a belief system and be a servant of a belief system.
I still propagandize you guys into belief systems. I propagandize them into liking themselves. I propagandize them into like thinking for themselves. I propagandize them into like being kind and honest to other people. No, I definitely push belief systems on them. But even then, I say to you guys all the time, if you don't want to be honest, that's fine. I don't know why you'd watch the content. But yes, I know what you're meaning. It's like those are kind of universal belief systems that I think everyone agrees with. Honesty, compassion. Not everyone is doing it.
Right.
But it's hard to find someone who's like, no, I don't want a happy life. I don't want to be honest. I don't want to be kind. Most people want that.
Which is ego talk, because I think when the ego gets quiet, you naturally want to be in harmony with. You are naturally in harmony with people around you. And I don't pretend to be a great example of that. But I will pretend to be a better example of that than I was 10 years ago, than I was 10 years before that.
Definitely. You've changed a lot. You used to be very angry at society, like almost hateful at times. I did too. Like, holy shit, we both did. I was really angry and frustrated with women for a lot of the time. And that's like the intervention that you had with me.
Yeah.
Because my mindset, which very much came from like the red pill Reddit and stuff like that, and some pickup artists and all of that, I started to go down a path of like, well, look, lots of women have ghosted me. And because, you know, that's just like part of dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of women have ghosted me, said no to me. My feelings got hurt. So therefore, I'm justified in doing it back. And that was essentially the pathway I was going down. I was like, how can I be more self-focused? Like, I basically started to just focus on my wants, my desires, my ego and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was going down a path of like, I don't care about women, but I did care. And that was the intervention that we had. My conscience spoke up all the time and said, why do I feel guilty when, you know, I hurt a woman's feelings?
Yeah.
Why do I feel guilty if she just wants a little bit of reassurance, but I don't give it to her? Because I'm just like, fuck you, bitch. I'm a big, cold alpha male.
Yeah.
I felt guilty about that. And I had some conversations with you where I said, man, this pesky conscience of mine, I wish I could just get rid of it. And you got really fucking serious with me one night, like insanely serious. And you were like really angry, which I really appreciated. And you were literally like, you are talking about being a psychopath, Andy. If you continue down this path, I am not your friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, are you being silly? Are you being serious? And you were like, I am dead fucking serious. I am not going to be friends with someone who is trying to deliberately dull their own conscience and not care about other people. I'm not going to be a part of that. And like that made me go away and think for like a week or two. And at first I was angry at you. I was like, he doesn't understand. I'm just trying to get pussy. Like, I just want to get laid, bro. And like maybe a week or two later, I started to gently move away from the red pill and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was a good intervention.
What I remember from that time, because I still don't remember, I don't remember that intense conversation, but I remember the impressions of you that I have at that time, which is that you're not a psychopath, that you're looking for an example.
Yeah.
Which I think everyone is all the time. But with you, it was pretty clear, and I was sensitive to those signals at that time because of running FDR, right?
Yeah, the philosophy group, yeah.
So I think most of the people in that group, I was the leader, and they would call me dear leader. Which is not, I didn't start the group to become a leader. I started the group to meet other like-minded people so that they can help me, basically, which they did. So I was sensitive to those signals. I'd already seen them. You tending to the psychopath direction, as you put it, would have jeopardized my position as leader of that group, because it is explicitly a group about compassion and empathy.
Yes.
So having you in my life, this is now confabulation. This is knowing what was going on at that time in my life. It was so long ago, I don't specifically remember what happened, but knowing what was going on in my life and the kinds of challenges that I was facing as someone running a small meetup group, it would have been of a big threat
Mm.
to that group to have even one person speaking quite explicitly about becoming more psychopathic
Yeah.
and caring less.
Wouldn't have been good
So-
for your psyche either to just have that in your life.
Right.
It wasn't good for my psyche.
Wouldn't
That's
have been
why
good
I
for anyone.
That's why I kept talking to you about it and saying, can you help? I was basically saying, can you help me not care about my stupid conscience?
Mm.
Can you help me not care about women? And you were like, bro, why am I going to
like
help you not care about
my
people?
purpose was the opposite
Yeah.
of that.
And I got so conflated because a lot of these communities, especially like red pill communities, black pill communities, some pickup artists, they very much do not. I don't even think they know they do it, but they just don't really empathize with women. They
Right.
certainly never talk to them in like a normal way that like you or I do, where you just talk to them like a person.
Right.
It's very much like done through strategies and manipulations and game and like pick up, and I got to say the right thing and be flirty and do all of this. And it's like, I was going down that path for sure.
And hypnotic techniques.
Oh yeah, there's so much like NLP and persuasion and stuff like that in game and seduction. Same as like sales tactics and marketing and stuff like that. And I've always said, well, not always, but the last few years I've said it's not fair. It's not an equal playing field. If you're using psychology tricks on someone who doesn't understand it,
Right.
that's like manipulating a child. Not that the other person is a child, but you get what I mean?
Right.
And then why would I give myself credit because I was able to like seduce people using techniques they didn't know I was using?
Right.
It's like I challenge someone to a chess match and then
Yeah.
I don't know, doing some secret magical technique that I don't know what you do in chess, but like I challenge them to a chess match and the timer, you know how chess can be timed where you push the button, like you get, and their timer goes twice as fast as mine, but they don't realize that.
Right.
It's like, that's not fair. That's not a chess match. Or like I challenge them to pistols at dawn or something and their gun isn't loaded.
Right.
Like that's essentially what a lot of game and pickup is. Not all of it, but a lot of it is like that to me, especially sales tactics, man. There's so much shit with sales tactics where they'll use like emotional language and get you really upset and afraid and like you're freaking out and you're like, oh, I can't. And they'll literally say, how terrible is your life going to be if you don't sign up for coaching with me? And they'll go, oh my God, dude, I'm just going to be miserable forever. Yeah. And how great would your life be if you took this opportunity?
Yeah.
Are you a winner, Tim? Or are you a loser?
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, I'm just not sure about the money. That's your old loser mindset speaking up. Do you want to keep being a loser or do you want to be a winner like the rest of us? You know, take a chance. And they're like, well, I need to think about it. No, this opportunity only lasts for another day or two.
Yeah.
Whereas like I had a sale on my coaching and there was a few people at the end there who were like, I don't know if I want to sign up, but like, does that mean I'll miss the deal? And I was like, no, look, if you hit me up in 2 months from now, I'll still give you the sale. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be based on pressure. I talked a guy out of technically I've talked 2 guys out of the coaching recently. Cole, this guy right here, Cole.
Hi, Cole.
Hello, Cole. We were on
Merry Christmas.
We did a call the other day, like a week or 2 ago. And he was like, oh, I'm not sure about signing up. And I was like, man, your life will be freaking awesome if you sign up. Your life will be awesome if you don't. Like, you don't need me, dude. Like, if you want me, I'm here.
Yeah.
But you don't need me. And then I had another call like that the other day.
Yeah. Well, that's it, isn't it? Stop trying to bypass people's conscious mind through sales and hypnotic techniques.
Without their awareness, yeah.
Even if it's just to find out what happens, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't need this stuff. Imagine going through life being manipulative and then finding out at the end of your life that you didn't need to be.
That's essentially, the pathway that I went down. And the number of like coaching clients and you guys in the audience who, when I show you guys that you can just be autistically honest and just tell a woman exactly what you're feeling or exactly what you want, the number of guys who try that, it works. And not every time, like obviously not everyone wants to date you, but it works. And then they go, wait, you mean I didn't have to try and be perfect? I didn't have to say these weird pickup lines. I didn't have to do any of that shit. And if you want to do that stuff, do it. Like, it can be fun to flirt and all of that, but like, it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
I could have just said like, hi, you're pretty. Are you single? Do you want to hang out for a little bit? Do you want to talk? Like, that's all I said to Molly.
Yeah.
Just like, hi, you're really pretty. And I'm a little nervous right now, but I wanted to say hi.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, thank you. Like, and they just talk.
And then there's no act that you have to maintain.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're James Bond smooth in the approach,
James Bond isn't James Bond smooth. James Bond is an actor who gets to reshoot every scene 50 times until he gets it right, with editing and cutting and close-ups and perfect grooming and an entire sometimes $100 million, several $100 million budget to make it look sexy.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Right.
That's not real life. I'm never that smooth. Why would I ever be that smooth?
And you shouldn't wish it to be, because what everyone wants, I believe, is to actually have their insecurities accepted.
Yes, correct.
Not to be
perfect and
not
hide
to put on a smooth performance and then have to maintain that performance, because even if you can, it'll destroy you.
It's exhausting. Yeah. Should we answer some of the dudes in the chat? Give them a bit of love. No.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Okay, guys. Sorry, we can't answer your questions. We can't talk to you. We got to just ignore you. So we're going to celebrate this guy, Xander.
Hi, Xander.
So Xander, for full context, before I read this out, he came, actually, technically, he left a comment on my YouTube channel a couple of weeks before we started doing these streams. And he was very frustrated, very kind of lost. And he was like, I've done 1,500 approaches, which is insane. That's amazing.
Jeez.
He lives in Melbourne, by the way. So he's done all these approaches and he's like, I'm not getting results. And it's really annoying me. It's really frustrating me. And I basically said, yeah, man, I get it. Like, what results have you had? And he was like, well, I had a girlfriend for 5 months, went on a bunch of dates, kissed a few women. And I was like, wait, what do you mean no results? Like, you had a girlfriend for 5 months. What more do you want? Fine. If you want like another girlfriend, if you want to date for longer than 5, reasonable. But like, you've already had a lot of results. And when we first started saying this to him, he was like, nah, like, I don't feel like these are good results. He's been working on his mindset literally every fucking day of this live stream. Like, he's worked, a lot of people worked hard, but he's worked probably the hardest of anyone. And he's now getting to a point where he really starts to like celebrate himself.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, now that he's celebrating himself, like yesterday, he talked to 5 women, got 3 phone numbers, and one of them he went on a date.
Yeah.
And then today, same shit.
Total failure.
But no, he was constantly saying to us, like, what am I doing wrong? What do you guys think I'm doing wrong? And it's like, buddy, what do you mean wrong? Like, you're kicking ass. Fine. If you want to be more confident or flirty or positive, like, fine, work on that. But like, wrong, you're winning.
When you've stepped out of the matrix into a new universe, into a new matrix, just explore, man. Like, don't try to dictate what success looks like.
No, wait. This is the I have no expectations, only curiosity.
Isn't it worth it even if you don't have any success?
Yeah, just to do cool shit. Yeah, just to experiment and see what happens if I talk to 1,700 women.
I think I talked to, if I remember correctly, 110, 120 before I got laid.
Yeah.
It was all worth it. I'm glad it took a while.
And that was over several months, to be clear.
Yeah.
That was over like 6 months or something. We went at a pretty
probably about 6 months.
Pretty gradual pace, yeah.
And that's a total success, total success. Sure, someone else or had I made a better effort, especially with self presentation, right?
Yeah, lots of the time when we would go out to talk to women, you would just be there in like a singlet, like in America, you guys call it like a wife beater, and you'd be wearing your flip flops.
What I remember wearing often was tactical pants.
Yeah, you used to wear your army pants and shit. Yeah,
black 511 tactical pants because I couldn't be fucked.
Guys, he was dressed like Solid Snake basically, and he would just like show up like functional, but maybe. I mean, whatever. Like, it doesn't that just prove that, like, yes, appearance makes a difference. And eventually you did put more effort in, to be clear.
Yeah, and my success went up. Like, I was having better reactions, which was not surprising, mind you. I'm not stupid. I knew I was sabotaging myself by not really making an effort. But I was just loving the whole aspect of being in a new universe where things work differently and exploring the rabbit hole.
Yeah, that you can just walk up to a literal stranger. You can walk up to a literal stranger and be like, hi, you're pretty. Yeah. And she'll giggle and laugh and go, oh my God, that's so sweet. And you're like, this is insane. I can't believe this is a reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't need success.
That was the success. Yeah.
That was the success. I didn't actually need the sex.
Yeah.
At the time, I thought I did. Looking back now,
Oh, we all think we need the sex. Yeah.
I don't think I'd be better off today had I had more sex in that period. To be honest, that can be your goal, fine. But if you see yourself as a failure because you're not getting as much of that as you think you need, I think you've done something wrong.
You've set the goal. You've attached to the goal desperately. You've clung on to the goal so much that you're hurting yourself.
Yeah. Just explore.
So he says, well, guys, guess who got 4 conversations, another 2 phone numbers, and another instant date from 5 approaches last night. So part of what he was worried about is like, maybe I'm not attractive. Maybe I'm not good at flirting. It's like, that's actually pretty insane that he's talking to 5 women and going on a date from that and having 2 phone numbers. And I told you yesterday, he talked to 5 women and got 3 phone numbers and went on 1 date.
Yeah.
That's like,
I mean,
that's better than my numbers.
Yeah.
That's way better than my numbers.
Way better than mine.
Yeah. That's insane. Like that's really. Chad says, congrats, Xander.
So how many people are in the chat?
Oh, I don't know, like 8 or 9. Not bad for Christmas.
What's this number? Is it how many views?
Yeah, that's how many people are here, but it'll get a couple of hundred views after. Most people don't come to this; they watch it afterwards.
Right, especially Christmas Day, right?
Yeah. But it's Christmas Eve in America.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry. Oh yeah. Yeah. We're ahead.
Cole says, Merry Christmas. Benjamin,
Merry Christmas.
asking the deep questions, bro. Hard to not be sad when girls unfollow me on Instagram. I have an answer to this, but I'm curious what your answer is.
No, I'm not sure I have an answer to it other than just a vague check your
privilege. Check your privilege.
Maybe that too, but I was going to say check your basic assumptions of reality. but is he joking though? I mean, I can't tell, right?
No, he's being serious. No, yeah, no. He asked this yesterday. We just didn't get a chance to answer it yesterday. We were a bit busy. Yeah, I think he's like pretty bothered by this. A lot of guys do get bothered by this stuff because it's like you get your heart set on a girl and it feels like rejection. She unfollowed me, fucked up, and then you start telling stories of like, this must mean I'm unworthy. And if this woman unfollowed me, maybe lots of women would unfollow me. Maybe no woman would like me. You start to tell the stories, and it's the stories that hurt. And I guess Benjamin, speaking to you directly, it's not just that this girl unfollowed you. Like people unfollow each other all the time. You've probably unfollowed people, but it's that you're going further.
Yeah, maybe that's the answer. Start unfollowing people yourself.
Yeah, unfollow everyone in the whole world.
Yeah. See, I feel inadequate to this question because my answer is the question in return. Why does it matter to you?
That's a pretty good answer. Like I would go deep on that, Benjamin. Like literally just ask yourself, and you can write it in the chat if you want, man. Why does it matter to you? And we're not saying like it shouldn't matter, but I'm genuinely curious why it mattered to you. Like what expectations you had, what you wanted to get out of her. Like why do you could even say, why do I need people to stay following me? And can I be okay if some of them unfollow me? It doesn't have to mean anything about me.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll say is if you're sad, like you said, how do I not be sad? Bro, you can't control your feelings. You can only choose what you do with them. Like if you're sad, man, you're sad. Like feel the feelings. You're sad. That's okay. And then choose what you want to do next. But feel free to write more about this, man. And then you ask the same question about Facebook, but same thing.
Yeah, so same thing.
James Orman says, the Matrix wants you to be an obedient wave slave instead of making your own business. It tries to make you buy objects of status instead of saving money. Yeah, and that's just because like society or the Matrix, whatever you want to call it, like businesses, capitalism, any of those words, is a bunch of businesses trying to make money. And most of them believe the story of I need your money in order to be okay. Like even massive multi-billion-dollar companies act fucking desperate for people's money.
Yeah, shareholders. Yeah, the share price needs to go up.
That's what I mean. And
at all times.
Yeah, so they're desperate for more money, like needy as fuck. They're not just like, whatever, if we make more money, that's beautiful. If we don't make, like, There's very few like Buddhist mindset companies in Western culture.
I'm not aware of any. Dr. Bronner? I don't know.
I mean, they usually wouldn't grow into a big, massive company, would they? Or they might, but like, they'd be like a not-for-profit. Like,
Yeah.
I can think of big things that have like lots of employees, but they're usually not for profits. Or if they are for profit, they're at least a private company. Like, they don't go on the stock market, because that's your death sentence. As soon as you say like, all right, let's get the shareholders in here, it's like game over. You fucked up.
Yeah,
You fucked
totally
up.
agree.
Yeah, you fucked up. Now it's not about the customer at all. The customer doesn't fucking matter to a shareholder. It's literally, look, I've pumped a bunch of money into this company. I need a return on my investment. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'll take my money out.
Yeah.
And so then the company, once they go public, once they're on the stock market,
Yeah.
like their only job is to keep making more. They have to. And there is no end to that. It is like greed unchecked.
Right. As someone who, I don't know how much I should say about my day job, but whatever. I work for a big Australian corporation.
Yeah, just say that, yeah.
And turns over billions in profit every year, right? Yet they're sending jobs to India. Why? Because they need more
money.
profit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's always just like a hunt for more money. And like that never, ever, ever ends. Because it's not supposed to. That's like by design of a stock company.
Yeah.
It's not even like evil or nefarious. It's just like literally the way the stock market is. I put money into your stock. That better fucking go up. Otherwise, why did I give you money?
Yeah.
Like, I'm giving you money as an investor. I'm giving you money on the promise that I will make some money on that. Otherwise, I'd just keep it in my bank account.
Right.
So it literally requires, and there's pressure, and there's shareholders, and people can threaten and say like, and plus the way the law works, you have a financial duty to make money for the shareholders.
Yes.
Like, it is literally against the law.
Yep.
It is literally illegal to
Yep.
say like, no, we're going to keep the company exactly as it is once you
Yep.
go on the stock market.
Yep.
So like, yeah, it's not evil. It's just like, it's the way it's set up.
Can I put that same thing into my frame, the way I think of things? I'm trying to use simple language. It's not in my nature to use simple language. So what I would say in the way that I think, and my T-shirt with the tree sort of hints at it. When you go public and you have to answer to shareholders, you're another level abstracted from the consumer of the product.
From the customer, yeah.
And too many levels of abstraction in any system creates weird artifacts, weird behaviors. It's not a tree that's built from the roots up anymore. It's now this weird thing where the leaves are trying to outgrow the roots. If that metaphor makes sense to people.
No, it does, yeah.
That's how I think of these things. So I think the older I get, because I wouldn't have been speaking this way 20 years ago when I got into Ayn Rand, I think size is a real challenge to maintain something that's really big and keep its purpose, whether it's a government or a corporation,
or even just a person, like a small business,
or even a private business. Yeah. The bigger it gets, the harder it is to maintain the original purpose. And what does that mean for us day to day? Nothing. Just know yourself, and then you'll probably find yourself buying less crap. I'm not a very good example of buying less crap yet, but I'm working on that. I think size is a problem, is the point. Not a problem. Size is a challenge. It's
you're
actually
entering
hard to maintain something that's that abstract and keep its original purpose. Same with computer programs. Same with all sorts of things.
Yeah, I had this question on the stream like a couple of weeks ago where a guy basically said, hey, Andy, like a lot of your videos don't get many views. Do you ever think about views, Andy? Like, and yeah, sometimes I do. But I made the point of like, if I just chase views, because he said like, why don't you do something to get more views on your videos? And I said, if I chase views, I then dehumanize all of you. Like, I'm no longer seeing you guys as individual humans who are like struggling with something or trying to work on something or achieve something. I'm then just going like 500 numbers. Like, it's not even a person at that point. Why didn't I get 1,000 on this one? And then I don't focus on the person.
Right.
And so not that I don't want more views like that, but that will just kind of be a natural consequence of like continuing to do this to help people and all of that.
Right.
It's a side effect,
Right.
but it's not like the main goal. But
Yeah.
yeah. Let's
Good one. Yeah.
let's
A lot of you, most YouTubers, I guess, if you've heard of them, it's because they've chased views, and there's always a degradation in quality as a channel gets bigger, in my opinion.
yeah, and you start chasing the metrics and you go, okay, I have to do content that will get views rather than content that will necessarily help people.
Yeah.
And I've said this a lot.
Yeah.
If I put clickbaity titles, or if
Yeah.
if I do a video like 5 things you're doing wrong when it comes to dating, that will get like 5 times the views of if I say,
Yeah.
here's some things I've learned from dating.
Yeah.
But if I have a bunch of videos saying 5 things you're doing wrong, people just literally looking at the title without even clicking on the video, they might never click on the video. They automatically feel a sense of like guilt, fear, anxiety.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm doing something wrong. I knew it. I don't have time to watch Andy's video, but God, see, I knew I was fucking up.
Yeah.
I've just told them that they're a fuck up.
Yeah.
And they might not even be. They might watch the video and go, well, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not a fuck up. But like, they still feel the anxiety. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree with all that. Scrolling as such, scrolling anything is anxiety provoking.
Yes.
It doesn't bring joy, does it?
No. That's why it's called doom scrolling.
Hey, type in the chat if scrolling through Instagram makes you feel at peace.
Nobody will type anything. So going back before with Benjamin saying like, how do I not be sad when people unfollow me? Cole said, just be happy to be Benjamin, not to be friends with someone. It's got to come from the inside, not external. External is a moving target that you could never really hit, brother. Yeah. So there's a book on this, you guys, that you guys have heard me talk about quite a lot. I Need Your Love. Is That True? This book here. It's basically like how to stop seeking approval from other people and give it to yourself. So I'd go check that out.
Do I have a mute button?
No, but if you ever want, you can just do that. But yeah, Cole, thanks for that. Good advice, brother. There was more that he wrote down here, Benjamin. So we asked him why he's sad.
So sorry, can I comment on the previous?
Yeah, on Cole.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I don't think I'm going to say anything new here, but I think you can't go too wrong if you sort yourself out first. Without that becoming, I guess you can go wrong because then you can procrastinate. But everything originates. Everything that goes on in your head has at least something. Everything that goes on in your spirit and your mind has something to do with your history
and your beliefs,
how you're structured, your beliefs, your underlying assumptions. And I think the older I get, the more I see into that fractal, and it's never ending. This is why people can make it their life mission to live in a monastery and find it infinitely interesting. It never gets boring to look within. I think in this day and age, I'm pretty comfortable throwing that out as good general advice. It may not be the most pertinent message for everyone at all times. Some people just need to act, but you can't go too wrong if you start from looking within.
Yeah, like a bit of self-love, a bit of self-knowledge,
Yeah.
So we asked him, Benjamin, like, why are you sad when someone unfollows you? He said, I think I'm sad because when a girl or people unfollow or unfriend me, it's like they hate me, and why don't they like me? Yeah, so I would just explore that, man, and be like, is that true that they hate you? Like, and you can look for some evidence here. Like, think about people that you've unfollowed. Did you fucking hate that person? Or did you not even really think of them much anymore? It's just like, no, like, I'm going to move on. It isn't usually a hate thing. And kind of like Cole was saying, like Timur just said, like I've said, I would focus on liking yourself, man. And you can also add into that finding the people that like you. And there's plenty of people that like you. Bro, I like you. You've been coming to these live streams for like 2 years at this point, dude. But find the people or the communities or the friends or whatever that like you and give yourself a bit of like as well. So if you haven't already done this, I think I gave you this exercise like in the past, maybe I didn't. Write a list of 50 things about yourself that are likable. Like specifically 50 reasons why you like yourself, in other words. And 50 can be hard to get to. Take your time. Even if you just put one thing on that list for the next year, it'll take you like an entire year to do it. But start working on like your self-esteem, man, because like that is the key point here. That's what Cole is getting at. That's what Timur's getting at. If you don't like yourself, then like even the slightest little thing that somebody else does, like unfollow you, which is like such a tiny thing. And I think you know that. That's why you're asking this question. That will rock your world because you don't like yourself. And then the opposite, if somebody does like you, you'll just say that doesn't count, or they're probably going to leave, or like, yeah, but that's only one person. What about all the other people that didn't like me? Like you literally will ignore the evidence of all the people that do like you. You'll push all of them away and you'll just focus on the people that unmatch you.
Yeah. And when you want people to like you, they can feel that.
That neediness.
Yeah.
Yeah. That desperation to be liked often is unlikable.
Yeah.
And not that you're unlikable, but the action of being needy is not likable. It's like a pressure. It's a heavy burden when you can tell that someone is desperate for you to like them and be nice to them and like, please don't unfollow me, please don't unfriend me. Like it just comes across as needy and it feels like an expectation and a pressure. And there are a lot of people, I'm one of them, that if somebody's really needy with me, I'll be nice to them, but I probably won't have them in my life.
Yeah.
Because I'll just be like, you need something from me. You're trying to get something from me. You're trying to get approval, validation, acceptance. You want me to always be nice to you and always be cheery and always respond in a happy way and never unfollow you. It's just like a downer energy. It's exhausting.
I feel down and exhausted just contemplating that. Like,
yeah.
I can't make myself like someone
who needs you to like them.
Yeah. It's again, go within and find. Don't expect to find, but search for the source of that need.
Yeah, I have an article on this, man.
And go in with curiosity, no expectation of finding an answer. Exploration reveals things without you realizing they've been revealed to you, and you just find yourself knowing yourself better. Sometime, some way down the track, you'll find, okay, I think I know myself a lot better, and I didn't notice as it was happening, but it just kind of happened. And I find that with all kinds of skills. As a drummer, I'm a drummer. Not recently, but played a lot in my early 20s and through my teens. And I used to find that I would just love playing. And then eventually one day, while I'm not thinking about it, while I'm relaxed, while I'm in the zone, I will execute a technique that I didn't think I could execute. It would just happen. Self-improvement happens in insidious ways sometimes. You don't see it happening. You don't get instant rewards always. Sometimes you do. But it happens. Go within, and then I guess we can probably, if it becomes relevant, talk about techniques to do that. But I don't think you necessarily need techniques to do that. If you're in the habit of looking within, monitoring your breath throughout the day, try it right now. You just get better. And then one day you'll look back on your needy old self and you'll chuckle about it.
Yeah. It's funny to think about when I thought I needed to get laid. I was like desperate. And I would get really hurt if someone would say no to me or unfollow me. I'd get really hurt if someone unfollowed me. So Benjamin, I get it. An article that might help you, Benjamin, this one. 10 ways to build an I don't give a fuck attitude, letting go of other people's opinions. And I have 10 exercises that you can meditate on, like 10 ideas that I would literally do some meditation on. I walk you through how to do that. You know, things like I don't need their approval. Like I don't need a woman to stay following me. I could choose peace instead of this. That's very helpful. But yeah, I would just go through this article, man. Like a lot of this will help you. And then, like I said, the book, I Need Your Love, Is That True? Which you can just grab on Amazon or anywhere else. The Byron Katie book, that'll help as well. But yeah, man, everything you're feeling is like pretty freaking normal. Like I definitely went through this.
Look, I'm going through something right now in this in this live stream, right? I've never done this before, and it's very weird. It's still hard to believe there are people on the other end of this electrical signal that are hearing my voice.
They could be bots, dude. I have no proof they exist. I mean, some of them have emailed me, and I've done calls with some of them. Like I know Cole is real. I know Phoenix is real. I know expert cheek clapper is real, but the rest could be bots, dude. We don't know.
I see what happens.
Xander's real, although he could be AI. He could be a very convincing AI video.
Well, we're getting to that point where we have
Yeah, I
to
know.
assume AIs
Yeah.
are popping up everywhere, scraping information. So all of your listeners are AI, but somehow you manipulated some of the AIs into actually paying you real money.
And being on video calls with me and coming on the live stream.
That's impressive, bro.
Thanks.
You hacked the AI. So
what were you gonna say?
This is very weird what I'm doing right now, but hopefully it comes across that I'm relatively calm because I actually am okay with sucking, and I'm not dependent on any outcome from this conversation. So
yeah, you don't need these guys to like you.
Yeah, I feel inadequate to this task of speaking to an audience through a microphone on camera.
Yeah, because you've never done it.
Yeah. And I don't think I naturally have the personality for it.
I think you do.
Have
I think you do. I think you do.
Okay, because I perceive that I overthink every word.
Yeah, but so do I. You ask these guys, do I overthink words and go on big, long 15-minute tangents from one word that you guys said? Yes, all the time.
Okay, so I'm not special, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you're boring as fuck. Everyone tell Timur how unspecial and boring he is.
So in sucking at something, I'm not special.
Correct.
All right, interesting. I think there's a lesson there for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think they've heard it from you before.
Yes. Why do you need to be the best? Why do you need to be good? Why do you need to be a fucking alpha male pickup artist legend? Why can't you just be you and be kind of shit and then just slowly get better?
Yeah.
Why can't you just be a shit cunt at the start?
So hopefully I'm modeling that. Me doing this isn't making me money, increasing my status. I don't think I'm impressing everybody. Maybe I am. I don't know. But maybe you can see that I'm okay sucking and I'm calm about it. I hope I come across as not high anxiety right now in this situation.
You're not any different from when I normally hang out with you.
Yeah. There you go, guys. So hopefully I'm modeling what we're talking about. That I'm not dependent on any outcome of having everyone think I'm smart, writing nice things in the chat, somehow finding a way to send me money, even though there is no way to do that without knowing my bank details.
I mean, I guess someone could donate and then be like, give this to Timur, and like, I would, but like,
if they do, just keep it. Give it to Andy. So yeah, hopefully I'm modeling to some extent, modeling what we're talking about, so you guys can see it in action. I think I suck at this, but I'm low anxiety about it. And me approaching women was a similar way. I was terrified to do it.
Yes.
But I think, Andy, I think you can agree with what I'm going to say. I was almost always, if not always, okay with rejection.
Yeah, it was never even a concept in your head. Funnily enough, when I started approaching, same thing. I wasn't worried about rejection. I would get annoyed if someone ghosted or stopped replying. But like walking up to her, as soon as I made the decision, I'm going to walk up and say hi, even though I was terrified and shaking and going to throw up and all of that, I didn't really care what she said.
Right.
I hope she wouldn't be like horrifically mean to me or something and like scream at me or something, which never really happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't too bothered by like rejection. My fear was just the anxiety of doing it, like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was bothered when I felt like I creeped them out and actually ruined their day, or
yeah, you were trying to be like conscious of them. Yeah.
I remember doing one approach at night because I was committed to doing one a day for 3 months in that period.
I remember.
I think I was living with you at the time on the floor in your living room. I approached the girl at night in the city in a well lit up area and all that, but she just freaked out and marched off, and that was kind of bitter. It's like, I don't want to freak people out. I don't want to make them fear for their safety, But even then,
it's not personal. Though. It's not personal.
It's not personal.
Yes. Yeah.
You'd be crazy to think if some other guy did the same thing, she wouldn't have freaked out. She would have gotten turned on.
But that is what a lot of guys think.
Yeah,
like some of you here think that as well, where you're like, if I was more of an alpha male, then I could do anything and she'd be up for it. Always. Every woman, always. And it's like, no, that's not
Yeah,
how that works.
That's not how that
Yeah.
works. Someone said something with my name in it. Doing a great job, Timur. It's not noticeable at all if you are uncomfortable. Oh, okay, thanks, Cole.
This guy's username, he's one of the OGs of the channel.
Who, sorry?
This guy, Expert Cheek Clapper.
Oh. Which cheeks are you clapping?
Probably men's cheeks. He makes a lot of like gay jokes.
All right. Because Andy and fellow Andy sells.
Okay, so
Andy celibate. So that's someone that hasn't had sex with Andy. Not many women left in that category.
I think it's someone who's an Andy who hasn't had sex. Right?
Someone. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
You know that game that I showed you before we started, the pickup artist game? I showed him the pickup artist game a little bit. So I told you yesterday we were trying to pick the right answers. All of us tried to pick the right answers, and half the time we got it wrong. And so I got to a point where I was just like, guys, I don't know how to meet women. I clearly don't know how to have sex. I don't know how to have I don't know anything that's happening. Because we all kind of just gave up and we said, maybe we're incels. Every option we seem to pick is wrong. I don't know what he wants us to do, but apparently we can't meet women. We fucking suck with women. So we started calling ourselves anti-cells.
So if you fail at that game, you are unlovable and should just give up at life.
Yeah, 100%. Xander. So even Xander, who's the guy that's done 1,700 approaches right now, the guy that I just said has got 2 dates in the last 2 days, even he sometimes, and he's watched a lot of pickup artist stuff in the past and that, he was like, okay, I'm pretty sure the right answer is this. And I'd be like, all right, Xander, we're going to trust you, man, because you seem to know this kind of content and stuff. You've done a lot of approaches. You've followed pickup artists. Would pick that option and it would be wrong. Even Xander started getting annoyed. And he's normally pretty patient. And he was like, this is fucking stupid. Like, why is this conversation going on for 10 fucking minutes? Ask for her phone number already. And there was a couple of times we'd pick like, ask for her phone number. And the guy would be like, no, it's way too soon in the conversation. It's like, we've talked to her for 10 fucking minutes, bro. What do you mean it's too early in the conversation?
Every number I ever got with street pickup was early in the conversation.
Yeah, me too. When I hit on Molly, she gave me her phone number within the first like minute, the first 30 seconds. And then we kept talking after that. Yeah. But, like within 30 seconds, because she was late, she was going to work.
Yeah. That's not even an anomaly though.
That's like completely fucking normal. You get someone's phone number whenever you get their phone number. Yeah.
Hey, if you've approached 1,700 women, and let's say for a moment you'd had 0 success, I would still take that as encouragement.
Yeah, you leveled up. Maybe you can improve some things and try something else. Like you've started the process.
You've done something really fucking hard.
Yeah.
And then you could ask this is a hypothetical now because no one here has done 1,700 without success, right? But
yeah, it would be impossible.
Suppose you did that. This is where spirituality and your underlying assumptions comes in. You've just done something really hard that 0.0001%
it's like
of men have done.
Write a book about it. Write a book, call it like I approached 1,700 women and didn't get a single date. Like, here's my manifesto. And then don't go on a killing spree after that. But like, write that book.
Write that book. And if that failed, like you've done something hard. Find what your skill set could be better applied to. Like the point here isn't to discourage men from doing pickup because they've failed too many times. My point here is look at your underlying assumptions. If you've achieved something that hard, you're probably really, really good at something.
You're clearly good at perseverance.
You could maybe pivot, try something else in life, and then the success through that would bring you women, because ultimately that's women are trying to filter for successful men. That's kind of part of their job as a woman, right? My point is check your spirituality, check your underlying assumptions. If you don't like the word spirituality, try a reframe.
Yeah.
Reality isn't so simple that you're given linear paths where you walk that path and you end up at the destination. It's not like a road.
There's not only one way of doing things. Yeah.
We're used to seeing man-made roads where you drive down the road and you end up at the destination and it all works out well because the traffic lights control the thing and everything's laid out for us and we don't have to think outside the box. This is the matrix we live in. Don't internalize that matrix. Reality is a fractal spinning mandala that does judo on you and gives you lessons that you didn't realize you received until 5 years later, and go, of course, like reality is not a man-made road that you drive down to get to the thing at the end of the road. Check your assumptions. That's powerful. If you don't believe me now, I predict you're going to believe it either in 10 years' time or after your next LSD trip. Reality is a judo game. You lean heavily. I could talk at length about this and dominate the whole thing, and I won't. But you don't always get the thing you're asking for. You get something that's kind of related to that and gives you a hint as to what you should do next. Think of any adventure story. I got to wrap this up. I'm talking a lot. Think of what is adventure?
Random stuff you didn't predict.
Is it you get in your car, you turn the key and it starts first time, and then you drive down the street and you get to the convenience store and buy your pack of cigarettes and drive back home and smoke your cigarettes? Is that an adventure? Or is it you set off to save the princess and you get sidetracked by a mission? No, we're playing video games, are we? By a mission to slay a dragon, to collect treasure, to save the
side quests.
The kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm making this up. It makes no sense.
It makes sense.
Think of life as an adventure because it actually is. Don't expect an algorithm to be given to you that you follow to get the success.
Yes.
Sex isn't necessarily even a success. I mean, many guys get the sex, then find it was not satisfactory. That's been my experience.
Yeah, it was not the thing they were searching for. It was part of it. It was like a step towards some form of self-acceptance or being okay. Like most of you just want to be okay.
Look, I'm a 40-year-old grown-ass man. I have never liked having sex with a woman only once. I feel like I need my ego, whatever it is, needs that second time to validate the first one. Otherwise, if I don't get the second one, then the first one must have been bad. So I feel worse off than if I just didn't get the sex at all. That's me. I bet you it's not only me. When you set a target, ask yourself the question, am I really wise? I need a target for something to work to. That's part of adventure. Have a goal and work towards it. But if you're not being given, if you're not getting what you think you want, you might be getting something better. Engage in adventure.
Yeah.
Don't expect the outcome. Don't expect a one-level video game.
I have no expectations, only curiosity.
Yeah.
And you guys might have some expectations. You don't have to completely get rid of them, but like try not to attach to them desperately.
Have goals.
Yeah. But you're responsible for the effort and the intention, but not the outcome, which is dependent on many other variables.
Yeah.
Is Tato says, hi, Timur. Hi, Andy. Late to the party. Celebrated with my family till now. Awesome, dude. Andy, thanks again for your advice 2 days ago. You are very welcome, my friend. Xander says, if I ever get to 10,000 approaches, so this is the guy who's done 1,700. If I get to 10,000, I honest to God might see if I can get an article published on a website. You can publish an article on my website. You can come on my YouTube channel and talk about it if you want to. You can do that anonymously if you don't want to show your face. But yeah, if you get even close to 10,000, I will absolutely like signal boost that. That would be crazy. I'd want to interview you, man. Even if it was just a written interview.
What's the other comment?
Which one?
The top 1,000 men. By then, I expect I might be in the top 1,000 men on Earth in terms of number of women approached.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think I got up to 300 or so. I stopped counting at about 200. Or lost count. I don't know the numbers after 200. I've only got one maths degree, so we only learn up to 200.
K215 says, hello.
Hello.
There was a question before that I want to answer from Nathan. We didn't skip your question, Nathan. We just didn't get around to it, brother. So Nathan de Mortier, isn't that such a cool freaking name?
That's cool.
I might be mispronouncing that surname, but like de Mortier.
It sounds like it's death related.
Okay, well that's
Mort.
That's morbid, but that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking it sounds like a prince Nathan. Or something. Like it's very regal. De Mortier.
My mind goes to like perfume brand.
Yeah. This guy probably sells perfume with that
Perfume
name.
for the dead.
Yeah. I mean, they'd probably need it. How can I not be angry or frustrated? So, like I said before, it's okay to be angry and frustrated, but then just like it's what you do with it afterwards. When my wingmen are getting results with girls and I'm getting nothing. So, first of all, I would question that. Are you getting nothing? Kind of like that's been the theme of today's conversation. Like, often you're getting something, but you're just not celebrating it. Like, are you having any phone numbers? If you're getting any phone numbers, then that's something. If you're not getting any phone numbers and you've only talked to a few women, then just bump the numbers up, go talk to more women and just be a bit more patient. But even if you haven't gotten any phone numbers, are you having some nice conversations? Are some of the women smiling at you? Are they super happy? Like any of those kind of things, celebrate those things, man.
Hmm.
You're going to say this.
I've been through that, by the way, and well, with Andy, I just kept doing it because
Yeah.
because it was like a tripping balls approaching women in the street, and you learn so much, and it changes how you see women, how you see society, how you see everything.
The results are the process. Like the process is the results. The process will change you even if you can't see it. The process is teaching you to humble yourself a little bit, to not compare yourself to others, because look how much it hurts when you do, right? It hurts like hell. So this process will teach you to not do that or do that less. This process will basically strip you down and force you to confront your insecurities. If you're going to go out there and hit on women, you are not running away from your demons when you do that. Every insecurity, every bit of envy and jealousy and pain inside of you has to come up, like it will. And that's the work, man. Like that's the stuff that we work on.
Yeah, and that is your reward. It's noticing this frustration. Not reward, I take that back. That's what you're getting out of it, is going through frustration and dealing with that and coming out stronger.
Yes. Can I go through the frustration and the pain and all of that and get through it? That is what this process teaches you.
Yeah.
And what you said here at the end, where you said nothing will ever change. So grab a copy of this book, man. You can't afford the luxury of a negative thought. Very relevant. There's also another book that might help you too, called Learned Optimism. Because what you're talking about here, where you say nothing will ever change, that's a concept called learned hopelessness, where you're like, it'll never change. It's never going to work out. So this book will help with that. I also have an article that will help you, dude. It's called What to Do When You Feel Hopeless and Helpless. If you just go to killyourinnerloser.com, just search for hopeless or helpless. And I have this long article of like, you know, videos in there and stuff like that of what to do when you feel a bit hopeless. But yeah, man, like all of us have felt this at times. Like nothing you're feeling is different to anything that we've all felt.
So saying nothing will ever change, that's your underlying, I think that's a result of your underlying assumptions about the universe. And that sounds abstract and maybe not actionable for you, but you can reframe out of that, because I bet you things are changing.
Yeah, for sure.
Reality, that nothing is static. You are changing. You're focused. It sounds like, I don't know you. I'm making assumptions because these are the format, right? I'm speaking to a camera. So I don't know you. If I'm getting it wrong, then I'm wrong. But it sounds like you have you've framed yourself into, you're focused on the outcome of getting laid, and if that's not changing, nothing is changing.
Yeah, that's how you feel. You feel like you're making no progress. Yeah.
Nothing works that way.
Yeah.
There is almost, if you're doing all these approaches, there are things changing. Whether
yes,
you notice them or not.
You're just not celebrating them. That's why I say celebrate your successes, get a community around you, be grateful. Every single woman that you talk to, have gratitude. You can even say it to them. I tell you this, guys, this all the time. Every single woman that you hit on, even if she literally says, no, thanks, I'm not interested, you can go, wow, she's teaching me stoicism. Wow, she's teaching me to not be afraid of rejection. Wow, she's so honest and upfront. I love that. Or if she's like, I have a boyfriend, you can be like, wow, I'm grateful that there are loyal women in society, because if I'm going to date women, I want them to be loyal to me. She's just proven to me that there are loyal women. Wow, I'm grateful. You can even say that to her. You can say, wow, you seem very loyal to your boyfriend. Like, that's amazing. I'm happy for you guys. Or you can just say, I hope you have a nice relationship. So find something to celebrate with each approach, and that will make this process fun. You go on to say, I hate my wingmen because I deserve better results than them. It's unfair. You want to tackle this? You got some things to say to this? Otherwise, I will.
But he's responding to Cole, who said you will be glad to see them succeed as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
If you hate your wingmen, stop hanging around with them.
Yeah.
If you actually mean what you're saying and you actually hate your wingmen, why are you hanging out with them?
Yeah.
Why do you expect success with women? I'm taking it face value, bro. Like I'm looking at the words on the screen and responding to them as I interpret them. I'm taking them at face value. I'm not trying to read into it. Yep. If you hate your wingmen and you're hanging around with them and trying to pick up women with men you hate, maybe women can sense that you're around people you hate. What state are you in when you're going out approaching women?
Yeah,
if you're
dude, if you're walking around with hate in your heart and entitlement, like I deserve better results than them, and bitterness, it's unfair. Women aren't fucking retarded, man. That's very easy to pick up on that. You just look ungrateful, grumpy, sad, annoyed, frustrated, bitter. You don't have a smile on your face. You're not enjoying what you're doing. Your heart isn't full of gratitude and love. Like women can freaking tell, man. Everyone can tell. Like you're not a world-class actor. You're not very good at hiding this. And lots of times when I have this conversation, a guy will say like, no, but I don't make it obvious. And it's like, fuck off. You think you don't make it obvious that you're hateful, resentful, bitter, butthurt, and I mean all of that with love, man. But like, you think that's not coming out? At the very least, it's about what you're not doing. If you're not walking around with gratitude and excitement and happiness, then you're not smiling, or the smile isn't real, and people can tell, man. Like, so mindset dictates everything.
Did you say it was Nathan that said that?
Yeah, Nathan said
that people can't tell.
No. I'm saying other people. Sometimes when I have this conversation, guys will go, no. Like, I'm not making it obvious that I'm angry and that I hate women or that I hate myself. And it's like, it comes out, man. Like, what do you mean? You think people can't tell that you have a negative worldview?
Way clearer than you think.
Fucking animals can fucking tell.
Animals can tell
because you're literally more
tense.
Cats
can tell, dogs can tell, birds can tell. People can tell. People have been doing this from before they were in human form, I think.
Yes.
I can't confirm that firsthand, but I reckon humans could tell exactly that before they were humans. People can tell. And if you think they can't tell, you're probably more transparent because you think people can't tell.
Yeah, and because you don't know what it is that you're doing. You're not even aware of yourself and your body language and the way you're talking and the way you're not smiling as much and the way you don't have like non-neediness. Like you're not even aware of the things you're doing. That just makes them even more obvious to other people.
Yeah, totally agree. Check your underlying assumptions. Check your basic feelings about yourself and the world. I think you would benefit from going within. But if you are hanging around with wingmen that you hate and you think you deserve better and you're not getting success, it's not even remotely surprising to me that you're not getting the women. Nor would I suggest to women that they should ever be with a man who is exuding hatred at the time that he approaches them. If you are, I'm judging based on the words on the screen. If you're experiencing any feelings of hate when you approach a woman, the woman is right to be afraid or nervous or creeped out. That's their job. That's
correct.
That's what a properly functioning woman does.
Women are very attuned to safety for exactly this reason. You're bigger than them, Nathan. Like we're all bigger than most women. They have a process running in their head that men do a little bit, but nowhere near as much, of constant, am I safe? Am I safe? Am I safe? When I hit on Molly, she told me afterwards, she was like, for the first couple of minutes of us talking, all I was thinking is, fuck, am I safe right now? And she was like, I was simultaneously really into the conversation, so happy that you hit on me. I was unbelievably happy to give you my phone number. But as soon as I gave you my phone number, my brain was like, fuck, should I not have done that? Should I have given him a fake number? Am I safe? Like, is he dangerous? Is this okay? Is what I'm doing okay? I'm not thinking that. Men aren't thinking that when they hit on a woman. You're thinking like, am I nervous? Am I doing a good job? But you're not thinking like, am I physically safe from her right now?
Yeah.
And so women are very fucking attuned, way more than you think.
Yeah.
To if you have hate in your heart, if you're jealous, if you're entitled, you know, like I deserve better results than them. I would play around with that, Nathan. Like, question that a little bit, man. And like, it's not about worth or deservingness. Like, it's not about deserving. You're making it like a very personal thing and saying it means that I'm not worthy and I do deserve and all of that. It's like, question that, man. Does the person who has hate in his heart deserve more women than the guy who doesn't? Like, play around with that concept. I would say, fuck no. I literally
Yeah.
don't want. I mean, it's not up to me to say what people do, but I'm definitely not going to encourage women to sleep with a guy who has hate in his heart. And that's not a judgment, Nathan. That's just like what you're feeling, dude. But I would never tell a woman to sleep with a guy who has hate in his heart. I would never tell a guy to sleep with a woman who has hate in her heart, like a really angry feminist who hates men and talks about the patriarchy. I'd be like, look, man, she is where she is. That's okay. We don't have to judge her, but don't sleep with her.
Yeah.
Like, or at least really slow down the pace so you can make sure you're 100% happy to sleep with someone that fucking has hate in their heart. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I would question that, Nathan. Like, you deserve better results than the people who don't have hate in their heart. Is that true?
Yeah.
My brain says, fuck no, that's not true, man. The opposite is true.
But well done saying it out loud, because
that's really self-aware.
Shows
That's really self-aware, dude.
that's at least step one.
Yes. Step one is admitting this, because you don't want to feel this, Nathan. Otherwise, you wouldn't have told us this. You're literally asking for help with this, which is insanely brave, dude. Good job. But yeah, I would just start playing around with some of those concepts, read the books. Like, You Can't Afford the Luxury of a Negative Thought. I would read that book. And then I would just question, is it even true that I deserve better results? Your ego says that, because our ego just wants everything. Our ego wants dopamine and results and all of that right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is just your ego going a bit crazy, man, and that's okay. But yeah, like, I would say, no, you don't deserve better results.
Yeah.
The ego wants to argue with reality, but what is the reality? Do you have better results than them? No. Which one is more correct? Reality and the entire fucking universe, or your ego? And the ego literally thinks it's God and will like literally argue with reality. And Nathan, this is not a criticism of you. I'm just talking about how the brain works.
The human condition.
Yeah. The ego will literally say reality is wrong right now. Like, Nathan, that's basically what you're saying. You're saying reality is wrong right now. And it's like, I'm sorry, motherfucker. Reality is bigger than you. It was here way before you, and it will be here long after you're gone. You are not more powerful than reality. You are not more powerful than God, if you want to use that word, or the universe. Like, I deserve better results than what I have right now. That's like objectively not true. Like, it's the proof is you don't have the results. That is the fucking proof. And you probably do have some results. You might just not be celebrating them. If you want it to be different in the future, that's what we work on. But the way things are right now is the way they are. And if you don't accept reality right now, it fucking hurts, man. There's a book on this called Loving What Is by Byron Katie, which I really recommend. But I also have a video on my channel. Let me find it for you. It was called like the map analogy. And I said, the first step to improving something is accepting where you currently are. So this video here. And I talk about how if you want to go to a destination, like if you pull your phone out and use the map app, the very first thing it needs to know is, where are you right now? Otherwise, how can I give you directions?
Right.
And imagine if you blocked the location settings in the app, and then it said, okay, you're going to have to tell me where you are. And you're just like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not where I want to be. You need to get me to where I want to be. Get me to the destination. And the app will go, cool, I need to know where you are right now, or I can't give you directions.
Yeah.
And so the same thing in reality, man. If we have a goal, like your goal is you probably want to meet some women, have some sex, go on some dates, all of that. If you don't accept where you are right now, you cannot improve it. Right now, you're arguing with where you are right now. You're hating, and, you know, I mean this gently, man, but you're throwing a tantrum with where you are right now. The first step has got to be like, fine, I don't have the results I want. Okay. What would I like to do going forward? What would I like to change? What would I like to work on? What would I like to improve? But if you sit there arguing with reality, like full of anger and frustration, and it's not fair, and fuck these other guys, I hate them, you're literally busy throwing a tantrum rather than working on it. Like, time spent arguing against reality or being angry is time you could spend actually changing something. And if you just sit there arguing with it and being angry and all of that, like, you won't change anything. Like, you get caught up in the hopelessness, which is why you said in your previous comment, you know, it's never going to change. Because that's how we feel when we keep arguing with reality over and over again. We're like, it's never going to change. It will. You just got to accept where you are right now and then change something.
It's never going to change means nothing more than I haven't changed my frame yet.
Yes. Or I'm believing that nothing's going to change, but that doesn't have to be true.
Yeah.
Expert Cheek Clapper says, have a wonderful Christmas tomorrow, guys. Well, today, technically, for us. I'll be away for a few days now. Thank you for being in my life, all of you. Andy, if I was gay, I would make out with you under the mistletoe. Isn't that non-consensual? Like, doesn't he need to add in, and if you were to?
Would it be like a hate makeout, or what kind of makeout would it be? Give us details and
no, don't
AI pictures to demonstrate.
No, it's all good. You don't have to do that. Actually, he's an artist. Aren't you an artist, dude? Pretty sure you are.
AI artist?
No.
You have to ask these days.
A vibe artist. Vibe art.
Yeah, what is that?
You know, like vibe coding. Vibe coding.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I keep hearing the term.
You literally work in you.
Is that what I do?
No, fuck no. No, it's no. Actually, wait. No, you have done little bits of this, but not a lot. It's where you basically like say to ChatGPT, "Hey, here's the thing I want. Can you throw together some code for this?" And then it will like write the code for you.
Yeah, I've done dozens of hours.
Yeah, you've done that. Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought you had.
Yeah. But I actually work in the field that ChatGPT. I try to understand what it's doing because I kind of need to.
Yeah, and to be clear, you know how to program. You use mostly R and shit, right?
Python.
Python now. Weren't you using R?
Yeah, long time ago.
Okay.
2019 was probably.
Look at you, Mr. Fucking Python.
Yeah, man.
Don't you never put semicolons at the end of each line in Python?
You don't put semicolons at the end of lines in Python.
Yeah, that's weird because like in JavaScript you do, right? Is it JavaScript you do?
I don't know JavaScript.
Because I'm pretty sure.
But I think you do. I can't even remember if I...
Yeah, I used to put semicolons. Any of you nerds in the chat? Any nerds in the chat? There's a bunch of nerds. I'm pretty sure you put... Yeah, you put a... No, you don't have to. No, I thought you always put a fucking semicolon at the end of every line in JavaScript. Anyway.
But Python is more sensitive to indentation and new line. So it doesn't use... I think Python's designed partly around readability.
Python looks pretty, yeah.
I like it.
Also, can you explain this to me? Why is Python's logo like two sad little blobs sitting on each other? Like, doesn't that just look like two sad little blobs?
I think you're projecting the sadness, bro. They look chirpy to me.
Why they look sad? Guys, tell me. Here, I'll show the logo on the screen for any of you nerds. Any of you who aren't nerds, ignore this entire conversation. To me, that just looks like two sad little blobs sitting on each other. At the very least, two neutral little blobs sitting on each other. Why are there two sad little blobs?
Somewhere between neutral and happy to me.
Look, to me, they just look like, life is what it is, you know? Life is meaningless and then we fucking die. Whatever. Like,
Okay.
That to me is the Python logo. Do you know the maths logo? It's in Australia. It's like an Australian company. Lots of Asians do it. Emmy did it. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? There's a maths logo. It's like Como or something. And it's like the saddest logo. This one.
Yeah, that's a horrible logo.
This is like the worst logo that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's for maths. It's for after school maths, like to give Asian kids more maths homework. And look how fucking sad the little face is. Like, this is the face that every Asian kid makes when their parents are like, you do more maths homework after your maths homework. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, that's the logo of the company. They're straight up saying, we know extra maths homework sucks ass. Sorry, guys. Sorry that your parents are Asian and they make you do more maths homework. Fucking embrace it, dude. Bad luck. We're sad. Yeah, Chad says that's me when doing math. That's literally the fucking face I'm making. Like,
with eyes that are unfocused and
okay.
One of them's looking to the top right.
Look what Phoenix just said about this logo. We're not even going to read that out, dude. That's fucked.
Math is only for Asian people.
Correct. Yeah, you're Asian, right? Close enough.
Depends what my true heritage is. As a Turk, I don't really know.
Turkey. He's from Turkey.
Am I from the conquered peoples or the conquerors?
Don't know. Both. Cole says, I woke up at 7. Actually, technically, he said, I woke up at 700 a.m., which is technically not wrong. It's like 0700 hours.
That's a long day.
700 a.m. to the sound of roofers tearing off my neighbor's roof. That sounds more like a de-roofer than a roofer. Was a great opportunity to practice my stoicism, lol, and I did. It was great. Glad my neighbor's got a new roof now. Fucking good job, man. You might even want to go over and say thank you.
Yeah, good job.
Stone Cold Chad says, I get numbers from short approaches, like talking for 2 to 5 minutes, but texting fizzles. When I ask what they're up to, interest drops or they stop replying. Should I skip small talk and just ask for the date? Yeah, I do. So when I get a girl's phone number, like my first reply is basically like, hey, you know, it was cool to meet you. They'll say, yeah, great, you too. And then I tell them what I'm looking for. I like to be very upfront. So I mention like, look, I'm dating multiple people. I'm non-monogamous. Like I mention all of that. And then I say, like, do you want to grab a drink if you're into all of that? So I jump straight to it, basically. Yeah. I don't do a lot of small talk over text because exactly like this, a lot of women will give you a phone number, man, because I don't know, they're just trying to be polite and they don't know how to say no. And then when you actually say, do you want to go on a date? All of a sudden now they're like, oh, he was actually serious about dating. I don't know how I feel about that. So yeah, I jump straight to that as soon as I can.
Keep in mind that people don't like to getting a woman to agree to date you within minutes. She'll give you her number, but you can't expect her to already have decided that she wants to date you. She might, that happens, but it's kind of like an impulse buy. You walk into a shop and the salesman approaches you and you go, oh yeah, g'day, and he shows you something you weren't thinking about before, and he shows it to you and you kind of like it, and you go, oh, maybe I do want this item.
Your brain needs to figure out if you're going to do it.
Yeah. Maybe you do want the item, maybe you don't, maybe you need it, maybe you don't, maybe it'll make your life better, maybe it won't, maybe you need to sleep on it at night, and then you need to sleep on it first and then decide, no, this is a waste of money, this is an impulse buy, or actually this thing is going to enhance my life. You know, why would you expect a woman to have decided she definitely wants to date you?
Yeah, when she didn't know you 5 minutes ago. Like you are a literal stranger. And it's also worth remembering that when you, I think this, I want you guys to really lock in right now and listen to what I'm about to say, because if you understand this, if you really get this, this will radically change your life. I don't even think I'm exaggerating. When you guys go out to approach women, you want to date the women that you are talking to. You have already picked her and decided, I like her. I'm going to go over and see if she's cool, but like, you know, she probably will be. I'm going to just ask her out. I want to date her. You also know that you are ready to date. You are going out there because you are single and available and you want to date. You are already 100% sure of both of those decisions. I want to date and I would date her. When you walk up to her, she might not even know if she wants to date right now. When I hit on Molly, she hadn't dated anyone for a year because she was taking time off for herself. And she didn't know if she wanted to go on a date with me. And she definitely, the woman that you're talking to, doesn't know if she wants to date you. Women don't make that decision as quickly as men do most of the time, especially not based solely on a really short conversation or like physical looks. Some women do, but a lot of women don't. They take a little bit more time because they think about safety. They're worried about being slut shamed, which is stuff you guys just aren't thinking about because it doesn't come up in a man's mind. You're not thinking like, what if I get slut shamed for having sex with this? What will my friends think? You're like, my friends will pat me on the back and high five me and be like, congratulations. We will celebrate you. And so when you guys see a woman that you want to talk to, you are already 99% sure that you want to talk to her. She isn't. You're also a stranger. As you're walking over to her, you're sort of preparing yourself for the conversation that's about to happen. Plus, you've already prepared yourself with all the other approaches you've done. She hasn't. She's all of a sudden now just thrust into a dating conversation or like figuring out if you want to date. She wasn't expecting that. She was just going to the store to buy groceries, or she was just going to work. Like she wasn't ready for that. Molly said that when I hit on her. She was like, I'm not ready for this. I had my headphones in. I'm late for work. I'm just going to work. I haven't dated for a year. I wasn't ready to be hit on. And so you guys are 100% sure that you want to hit on that woman. She isn't. She doesn't know you yet. Or some of them are. Sometimes women will just click with you immediately, but a lot of the time they won't. And so a lot of the time when you guys get a little bit like frustrated or hurt, or you're like, why didn't this woman give me a phone number? Or why did she give me a phone number but then not reply? It's like because she hadn't made up her mind, like you said.
Yeah.
You had. That's why you hit on her.
Yeah.
She hadn't.
Yeah.
She didn't have enough chance to think about it. And so sometimes they think about it afterwards and they're like, yeah, I don't want it. Kind of like you said here, Phoenix. You said sometimes when you make out with someone 2 days later, she's telling you she didn't feel a connection. What the fuck? Yeah, because like she's in the discovery phase. She's trying to see if she does feel a connection. You already know you feel a connection because you want to sleep with her. She doesn't know that yet.
Turks are either Asian or German.
Yeah, I saw that.
No, it's more Germans are Turkish.
Yeah. Yeah. Xander said this, I've never given a shit about approaching or getting rejected. He means like each individual woman saying no to him, except the latter at a significant scale. So he sometimes feels a bit of frustration of like, I've approached, 1,700 women and I've only had this many dates. Like, yeah, sometimes we're completely okay with something when it happens once or twice. But then if it happens at a larger scale, then we start to tell stories about it. We start to make it mean something, even though it doesn't have to. We start to make it mean maybe I must be ugly. Maybe I'm not good at this. Maybe I'll never make it work. Maybe it'll always be this hard. Maybe I'm never going to get good at this. Like that's the shit that hurts. And yeah, that might only come up on a big, large scale. Phoenix says, hi, Andy and Timur. Hello.
Hi.
My dad's told me this is the year that I find what field I'm going to be happy working in for the next 80 years. Wouldn't that make you like 110 or something, dude? No, you're turning 40. Your dad's his dad's very optimistic. I like that. He's like, my son's going to live to 120.
He's going to work to 100.
No, fuck. Yeah, no, you're right. My son's going to work to 120 and then retire for another 30 years after that. My boy's going to be 150. You mark my words. My boy's got good genes.
Carnivore diet.
Yep. Wait, what did you say, Phoenix? My dad wants to live to 120. I mean, so far, so good.
Fair enough.
He hasn't failed yet. Anyway, you say next year I turn 40. I think he gave me that deadline, as in the deadline to find what field you want to work in. Because my lifetime earning potential will be reduced if I don't have an answer by then. I mean, is that even true? Like, it's not static, bro. Like,
well, that's true at every moment for everybody of any age.
Yeah, true.
40 is an arbitrary line in that continuum.
Yeah. Either you
hey, do it. Figure out what you want to do.
Yeah, either you figure out what you want to do or you won't, man. Like, you'll be fine either way.
I think the trick is to be fine with whatever happens, including death.
Oh, that's a big one. I've done a few videos on like, are you okay with death? And like, short answer, no, most people are not. And they don't even want to think about it. And they go, yeah, I don't mind. And it's like, all right, sit alone in a room in the dark and think about death and what that actually might mean. Sit there for 30 minutes thinking about it. They're like, no, I'm not doing that. Fuck that. We'll go take LSD or something. Not recommending that. That's against YouTube's terms and conditions.
Oh, is it now?
If you were...
You may only trip balls on YouTube propaganda.
If you were to take a substance that was to open your mind, spend that trip, which I'm not recommending you do, but you could spend that trip.
Breathing exercises, just do intense breathing exercises.
Yeah. This is a good point. So it's all good games, says Scotty, who is from, you remember that website that I used to read a lot, Good Looking Loser?
Yep.
So Scotty was like, he co-wrote a couple of articles and he was friends with the creator. They were both like friends. So Scotty talks a lot
Derek,
about...
wasn't it?
No, Chris.
Oh, sorry,
Derek is
more plates, more dates.
Yeah, Derek is also friends with both of them, I think, or at least he's friends with Chris. Scotty talks a lot about asking yourself when you approach, are you really down to fuck yourself? Like, I guess you could almost call that like, am I actually available? Do I really want this? We can be really half-hearted about our approaches if the inner desire isn't there. Yeah, and that's why I say, like, don't walk around going like, oh, I hope I don't get rejected. I hope I don't get rejected, because then you're just focusing on the thing you don't want.
Yeah.
Think about what you actually want, like play to win.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go on a date. I would like to get some phone numbers. I want to have a connection. Maybe I want to have sex. I want a girlfriend, whatever it is, focus on that. And obviously don't then be unhappy if you don't get that immediately. But like, I think you guys get the point. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of the time we half-ass our efforts for sure because
Yeah.
we're afraid. We're afraid. There's this big fear of like, I'm afraid of really trying too hard
Yeah.
and then not succeeding. So
Yeah.
I'd rather just half-ass it. And then it's like, well, then you're going to get less than half of the results. Like,
Yeah.
that's like going out onto a football field or something and saying, I don't really want to run because if I run, then we might lose and I'll feel bad. So I'm kind of just going to stand here and hope that we win.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be really angry and upset and be like, this is not fair. How come they keep scoring all the goals while they're running? And it's like, because you're not trying.
The it's not fair narrative is very powerful and likes to repeat itself.
It's not fair is one
ad
of
nauseam.
the most painful sentences you can say.
Yeah.
Also, at what point, I know this gets said a lot, but at what point did literally anyone promise you that anything was fair?
Yeah.
In fact, everyone everywhere, and maybe not like feminists and people like that, but like most people don't say that the world, society, being a certain gender, being a certain race, like almost nobody says it's fair and we're all equal and we all have exactly the same. We're all equally worthy, but like, and we all have opportunities. But like some guys are shorter and then they're like, it's not fair. And it's like, no fucking shit. So work harder.
Yeah. Or just don't expect the same outcomes as other people.
Or be more patient.
Why is it supposed to work that way where everyone gets the same outcome for the same effort?
That would feel very boring.
I mean, follow that logic to its ultimate conclusion, and I think you'll find that the fairness you're describing is only found in like
utopia books and like socialism classes and stuff, which doesn't exist in the real world. It's like an ideal. Yeah. Ideally, we should all be exactly equal and everything should be fair. And it's like, but that like literally, then everything would be exactly the same. Like we'd have to all remove all of our differences and all be exactly the same height and the exact same gender, the exact same amount of money. We'd all have to have the exact same job, the exact same upbringing, the exact same parents.
And that wouldn't solve the problem even if you could do all that, because people are going to interpret their situation differently and say,
so we'd all need the exact same brain.
It's pathological.
We'd need the same brain and beliefs and thoughts and religion, and everything would have to be exactly equal for everything to be fair.
Right.
And then that just sounds really boring. And also that wouldn't be very good for biology, because like part of how a species exists is differences that can overcome. Like that's literally how breeding works. We have to be different. It's not a very safe strategy for everyone to be exactly the same, because then that means we're vulnerable to like there could be one virus, and because all of us are exactly the same, 100% of everyone dies.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that was fucking stupid, wasn't it? We want some people to be stronger, shorter, tall. Like, what if all the short guys in the world who right now, a lot of them hate themselves. You're fairly short. But what if all the short guys...
I'm 5'8", by the way.
Okay, that's about average.
172 centimeters.
Slightly shorter than an average guy, right?
I was just saying that for the audience to know I wasn't saying I'm not short.
Yeah. But like maybe the short guys survive because I don't fucking know. Maybe there's some gene where if you're tall, then you're more susceptible to a virus, and maybe all the tall guys die out, and so many short kings would be happy with that. They'd be like, fuck yeah, now I can crush it on the dating apps.
Well, a short person needs less food.
Yeah. And so like we want to be different. We don't want things to be fair.
Where I was heading to it, then I thought it was getting too abstract for the conversation, but the ultimate logical conclusion of like fairness and equality is just a homogeneous mass. Does that make sense?
Yeah, everything's all exactly the same and therefore boring. There's nothing different. Yeah.
It's a glass of water. It's not a cocktail.
Yeah.
That's not the best. It's like taking a bowl of fruit where you got different chunks of different fruit, and then you blend it to turn it into juice. You want to blend everything and have it be one and look the same and everyone's the same height. Like, do you actually want the thing that is the ultimate conclusion of this fairness idea?
Yeah. Do you want the world to be fair? No, you fucking don't.
I think it's an incoherent idea.
Yeah.
And that's not a popular thing to say, but it's not meant to be fair. And you're probably no one's wise enough to judge what's actually fair anyway. We're not talking about obvious things like it's unfair to randomly punch someone in the street. Like that's its own issue. But when we're talking about outcomes and the outcomes you expect for the input that you're putting in, you think you want fairness, you probably don't. That's probably not really what you want. I think what you really want is wisdom to reframe your situation, to unblock wherever blockages are. Everybody has blockages. Everybody repeats themselves. I'm doing it right now in the way I'm exerting my energy in this conversation. This isn't normal behavior for me. I'm repeating what I normally do here in front of camera. It's what we do. If you think you want fairness, I think that's probably not what you want. What you want is a way out of your current habit.
Yes. Yes.
But you first have to admit what the habit is and then do something to break out of it. And there are many ideas on how you break out of habits. And one of those is tripping balls. Another one is breathing exercises. There are an infinity of other options that I don't even know about. Sometimes just thinking about things a different way, the reframe, relinquishing control, trying not to control the situation is going to help. Being a witness to a situation that you would normally try to dominate, detaching from wanting the woman to say yes and instead going in with, okay, let's use this as a learning opportunity. Let me watch how this situation unfolds without caring about the outcome, so I can learn something about how I approach women or any other situation in life. I guess that's back to my quote, going with curiosity, not expectation, and you'll learn something. I don't think fairness is what you really want when you say that.
Fairness takes the power out of your hands and says, I want the external world to be fair. And it's like, but it's not. So like, you're always going to lose that. Like, that's never going to bring you happiness, because you're literally saying, I want the entire universe to be different from what it is. Again, the ego goes fucking crazy and literally says the universe should be different from what it is, or all of society should be different.
Right.
That takes away all power from you. Just focus on the stuff you can control, which is like the stoicism stuff. I can't control the external world, but I can control what I do with my feelings and what I choose to focus on and all of that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Can I have a moment?
Do you want me to leave?
No, I want to talk about dancing.
Do it.
So when you first witness dancing as a child, it looks like arms are moving around, and you think dancing is moving your arms and legs around. If you're interested in dancing and you continue to learn about it through doing it or taking classes, if it's something that becomes your interest and you get into it and you improve at it, you notice more and more that it's not happening at the extremities, it's happening at the core and at the feet.
Yes. And
the extremities flow from what the core and the feet
would you say dancing is like a mindset or a state?
Yeah. Dancing is a lot of things.
Yeah. And so is talking to women. So is approaching women. At the start, you're just thinking of like the actions, like I got to do this, or I got to say this. What do my hands have to do? What does my mouth have to do? At some point, you realize it's more about the inner mindset or the self-love or the confidence or just not caring about the outcome and just going out there and talking to a lot of women. The gratitude, all of that. And then you just show up as whatever you are in that moment. And you're not so fucking pressured to be perfect. You're like, I'm just going to go say hi and see what's up. That was... I told Molly that. Molly asked me a couple of months ago, like, what were you thinking, Andy, when you hit on me? And I said, all I was thinking is I'm going to go say hi. Like nothing after that. I wasn't even thinking what to say. The words just kind of fall out. I'm not thinking like, oh, I got to impress her. She better impress me. I got to see if she's hot. Like, no, I'm just going over to say hi and see what happens. So it's about taking off the pressure, I guess, is what we're saying.
Can I say one more thing on that? Or are we eager to move on to another question?
Do it.
The dancing analogy isn't even that much of an analogy, because what your feet are doing and what your core is doing while you're talking to a woman is going to have a profound impact. If you don't believe what I just said, that what your feet and what your core are doing are going to have a profound impact on the woman you're talking to, I dare you to take Argentine tango classes and then come back and tell me that she's not sensitive to the angle of your body, to your posture, to your feet.
which all comes from internal. And so some people will take what you just said and go like, oh, so I have to think about the angle of my body. And it's like, no. That will naturally come as a consequence of you liking yourself, being grateful, being chill, like all of that stuff. Practicing and just doing this enough times until you become comfortable. Yeah, your body will know what to do.
It comes from flow.
Yeah, from mindset.
Lessons. I mean, you practice with the deliberately putting the angle this way. You practice by doing things, by faking it, by doing the things the instructor says. Then when it clicks and you go, oh, I can get the woman to execute the moves that I want in time with the music without kicking each other's feet, which is a big problem in Argentine tango, especially for beginners. I can actually make all that stuff happen. Not only can I make all that stuff happen without thinking about it, but it works better when I'm not thinking about it. And I recommend dancing to men because it gives you cleaner, easier to, for many reasons, but it gives you very obvious, undeniable feedback as to whether what you're doing is working or not. Hey, to those of you who doubt that your internal state is important here, and you think what you need is outcomes, take dancing classes. I dare you. It will disabuse you of that notion. Specifically Argentine tango. Other styles work as well. The reason I emphasize Argentine tango is because you're so close and your feet are interlaced. You know, your feet are in between each other. So it instantly tells you when you're doing it wrong because you kick her feet. And that happens more when you're thinking about kicking her feet than when you're not thinking about kicking her feet.
Yeah, because you're focused on the thing you don't want.
Right.
Yeah, I call that playing not to lose.
But if you're railing against this idea that your internal state matters, I dare you. Take Argentine tango classes, persist for a few months until it starts to work, because it's not easy in the beginning. The first class is going to suck. It's one of the harder dancing styles. But you will, I guarantee it. I don't give guarantees often, but this one is true. If you take Argentine tango classes, you will go from, and you persist with it to the point that you can make it work and you can actually dance. It will disabuse you of the notion that the way you seduce women is by executing this checklist, and then you get to expect the same outcome as the other guy that executed that checklist. There is subtlety going on that you're not aware of, even if you're experienced and you're great at this and you've been doing this a long time. There is subtlety going on that you're not aware of. Dancing classes put it into the physical realm, give you instant feedback, and the posture change that you learn from dancing classes will translate directly to your pickup endeavors. That's a guarantee. Or your money back.
Brady says, Andy, I'm not sure what's happening. I don't think any of us in the world are sure what's happening, brother. Like, that's a very profound statement you've just made. Be very careful of anyone who tells you they do know everything that's happening. But I'm stuck in the airport. Tell me your favorite airport activity. I'm going to grab a drink and a snack. People watching. Like watching each person and then just like being open to whatever comes into your mind as you look at them. Like, where is this person going? What are they doing? Like, are they traveling to see family? Just make up a little fun story of each person. I like doing that. Yeah, I like airports from just sitting there and looking at everyone. Some people are chill and happy. Some people are clearly jet lagged. Some people are stressed as hell. Some people are angry. Some people are excited because they're going on a holiday. Some people are exhausted and sad because they're coming back from a holiday and going to work. Some people are crying and sad because they just went to a funeral or they're going to a funeral. Airports are one of those places where you see the whole gamut of like human emotions and humans in different states. Some of them exhausted and tired, some happy. Yeah, I like airports for this. Some people are dressed amazingly. Some people are wearing literal pajamas. Some people are asleep on the fucking floor in the corner.
If I were in charge of the universe, People
Good luck with that job.
People would spend their airport waiting time doing Argentine tango. And I'm not even joking. I don't know why people don't just start dancing when there's time and opportunity.
Okay, well, if you're going to push your
It makes a
agenda,
hell of a lot of sense to me.
if you're going to push your agenda, I wish Mike was here. Mike would love this joke. He's one of the regulars. Fine. I think people in the airport should read my Play to Win video course or watch my Play to Win video course. There you go. That's what people should do. There you go. That's what you should do, Brady. Do whatever you want, brother, but I like people watching. And I think maybe we'll say this is the last question. I don't think we've missed any other questions from you guys. Been here almost 2 hours.
We stop at 9 o'clock, do we?
We can stop whenever the hell we want. Stone Cold Chad says, long distance with a repressed Catholic divorcee. Are you the repressed Catholic divorcee or is she? She loves 50 Shades. Nice. But freezes past kissing. Should I spend dollars or money to fly to see her? I mean, if you want to, man, like, do whatever you want. It's your money. How do I pre-close her? What does pre-close mean? Can you tell us what?
Does it mean like get a guarantee that she's going to sleep with you before you make the effort?
Yeah, make her sign a fucking contract. Be like, bitch, I need you to sign a contract. I mean, if that's...
I don't think you should be even wishing for that. I don't think you should ever want guaranteed sex before you're even there. That's not how sex is supposed to work. It's supposed to be decided in the moment.
Yeah, but even if you want to, you could just be honest about this and say, look, I'm coming all the way. I'm really into you. I'd love to have sex or be intimate, but how are you feeling? And you could even just say, like, look, if I'm going to spend money and come all that way, if you're not feeling like you want to be intimate with me or you're not sure what you want, let's just talk about it. Like, yeah, I think that's reasonable, man. You can talk about it.
Yeah.
You can be very honest about it. But then you said, like, how do I pre-close her to ensure she doesn't freeze up? I think maybe you're not understanding what freezing up is. She's freezing up because she doesn't feel safe. And not that you're not safe. That's not what I'm quite saying. But like, there's clearly something going on. Other than talking to her about it, which is what I recommend, like I'd say, hey, I've noticed that, you know, sometimes you freeze a bit after we kiss. Like, do you want to go slower? Like, how are you feeling? Like, what's happening in those moments? What are you feeling in your body? Is there anything I can do to help? Like, can I make you feel better? Do you want to just take our time and like, we don't have to have sex the first couple of times. We can work towards it. Like, I would talk to her about this. But that isn't so much about like making sure she doesn't freeze up. It's more like, when she freezes up, because she's probably going to, because she already has, when she freezes up, how can you be okay with that? Like right now, you have an assumption that I don't know if you know you have. Your assumption is she shouldn't be freezing up. It's bad when she does. I need to fix this. I need to stop this happening. And it's like, no, slow down, man, and sit with her when she freezes. And just hold her hand or say, is there anything I can do for you? Or how are you feeling? What's going on in your head? Like, I just want you to know everything's okay. Like, we don't have to have sex right now. Give her a big cuddle, you know, stroke her hair and be like, hey, I'm here. Like, if we don't have sex today, that's okay. Like, we don't have to have sex. But you can just sit with her in that moment. I've done that a lot with so many women. Like, this is a common thing. I mean, I think you've even said this to me before. I'm into BDSM and not so much like the rough and abusive stuff, although spanking is fun. But even so, there are, I would probably guess, a higher percentage of women who are into BDSM who have been abused. It just seems to work out that way. Maybe they seek out the BDSM because they're replaying something that happened to them when they were younger or something that happened in a relationship. It just seems to be, at least my experience, and a couple of other like dominant BDSM guys that I know, same thing. They're like, yeah, there just seems to be more trauma with someone who likes BDSM. And so I have had so many freaking women where they freeze or they just like something comes up. You get the sense that they're kind of a little bit anxious, like they'll tighten up, or you can almost see that they're dissociating, like they're no longer looking you in the eyes, or they're just pretending, or it feels like they're pretending to enjoy it. And so in those moments, I don't go like, fuck, how do I stop her freezing? How do I make sure this doesn't happen? I stop everything I'm doing. I say like, hey, how you feeling? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? We take a break. I cuddle her. I literally tell her like I'll put the blanket on her and say like, you know, if you want to put your clothes back on, you can. If you want to cuddle, do you want to just lay here and listen to music? I've had women, like I had a woman a couple of months ago who we were in bed. We were about to have sex. We'd already started like fooling around a little bit. We're both naked and we're making out. I was playing with her, all of that stuff. And then she said something to me like, "You're so nice to me," something like that. And I was like, "Well, you're very sweet to me too." Like, and then I said some throwaway line like, "Have people not been that nice to you in the past?" Something like that. And she froze. And so I kind of just like gave her a little cuddle and I was like, "You don't have to tell me if you don't want to." And she just started fucking sobbing, like full on like pain that had been in her for like 10 years or some shit. She's like fully having like a big breakdown sob. And I didn't say anything. I just stroked her hair and I said, like, "I'm here, like, let it all out." And she just kept sobbing and sobbing and sobbing. And then we just kind of laid there. And eventually she opened up to me and told me about an experience she'd had that was like not very, I'm not going to use the word on YouTube because I don't think YouTube likes the word, but I'm sure you can imagine what the word was.
Mm.
She had non consensual sex when she was younger. And I just sat with her in that, and I immediately said to her, like, "Look, we don't have to have sex today. In fact, like, we're probably not going to. Like, I think you're a bit vulnerable right now. We can touch each other, we can cuddle, we can caress each other or kiss or whatever, but like, let's save the sex stuff." And she was like, "Okay, like, thank you. That's nice." Like, and we just kind of hung out for a little bit. Even Molly, I've talked about this as well. Molly had been through some experiences as well, and that's why she hadn't dated anyone for a year when I met her. And she specifically said to me over text, "I'm really worried that I'm going to disappoint you because I don't know how I'm going to be when we go into bed. I don't know if I'm going to be okay. I don't know if I'm going to be scared. I don't know if I'm going to dissociate or feel weird. Like, I just don't know how I'll feel." And I said, "Well, that's fine. I have no expectations. Like, what if the first time we go to bed, we leave our clothes on? And you don't take your clothes off, I don't take your clothes off, I don't try to, we leave the clothes on. We just see what happens." She was like, "I would really like that. Are you sure that's okay? Like, that's not going to be frustrating?" And I recorded her this long voice message and I said, "Look, I've been with enough women that have been through some stuff in the past, and I've dated women where they weren't comfortable with sex until like the 8th time we were in the bedroom. And like every time we would like work up to it, but they just weren't able to until like the 8th time." And I said, "I have no expectations, only curiosity, and we'll take our time." And we did. Like, Molly and I didn't have sex until like the 4th time we were in the bedroom. And so all of this is me saying, Stone Cold Chad, it's not so much about like stopping her from freezing. If that is your mindset, she's basically just going to lie to you, dude. Like, you're basically, you don't want this, but like the outcome will be, if you're just thinking like, "Oh fuck, how do I stop her from freezing?" Then she will just get the energy of like, "Fuck, he doesn't want me to freeze. Okay, God, I got to hide this. I got to stop myself from freezing." She's probably going to freeze, man. Like, she already has. It's about seeing freezing not as a bad thing, but someone's just been through some stuff or they're nervous. Like, she's a repressed Catholic divorcee. She probably has a million thoughts in her head of shame and guilt around sex. And then if she also likes 50 Shades of Grey, that's got to be very confusing for her. Imagine growing up very repressed and religious, and then you find this book about sex and BDSM and kink, and everything inside you is telling you that you're a sinner and you're a slut and you're a whore and like you're a degenerate, you're a harlot and all of this stuff. But you have these desires, and you meet this nice guy called Stone Cold Chad, and he seems nice, but you know he wants sex, but and you want it with him, but you have all this shit in your head. The answer here, man, is to listen to all of that if you want to. You don't have to, by the way. If you would like to date someone else, you're allowed to. But it sounds like you care about her because you're talking to her long distance. It sounds like you guys care about each other. I would just start the conversation, bro. I'd be like, "Hey, what's it been like being repressed?" And maybe you've already talked about this shit, but I would just start talking about the freezing shit. I'd be like, "Hey, you know when you freeze after we make out, what's going on in your head and what's going on in your body? Like, how does it feel? What are you thinking? What thoughts are you having? Do you feel pressure from me, or am I doing a decent job of like being patient with you? Like, not even being patient with you, but just sitting with you in that moment. Like, you're a man, and men are really good when they try at being there for women and making women feel good and making women feel safe. I you know how a lot of feminists hate the patriarchy? Like, they'll complain about
Yeah,
the
well,
patriarchy.
I don't believe they actually hate it.
No, I don't think
Yeah.
they do either. But the patriarchy is essentially like looking after people. And men are really good at that. Men are really, really good at providing safety. Not all men, obviously, no shit. And some men want to, but they're clumsy. But Stone Cold Chad, you have a real opportunity, man, if you want to be there for her and be that rock, be that stoic rock who's like, "You know what? If you freeze, that's okay." Like, right now, there's an implication in your, I said this before, there's an implication in your message here that I'm not okay. Like me, Chad, is not okay if she freezes. I got to make sure she doesn't freeze. Guys, what do I do to make sure she doesn't freeze? And it's like, no, man, be enough of a rock or enough of a man. And I'm not saying you're not a man, but be enough of a masculine man to be like, babe, if you freeze, that's cool. I'll just caress your head and I'll be there. And you'll unfreeze at some point, or you won't. That's okay too. Like, be okay with the freezing, man. Like, it's not something to be afraid of.
I agree with all that. I just want to add my opinion. Just
Huh.
my opinion is, if you're not okay with going there and dealing with her freezing, then don't go there.
Yeah, 100% agree. That's why I said she might freeze, man. There's a decent chance she'll freeze if she has before. Like, this isn't about like avoiding the freezing. It's about being okay with it.
Yeah. I don't think you should ever expect guarantees.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
like pre-close, if I'm interpreting that term properly.
Because you'll be fucking disappointed. Like, even if she gives you a guarantee, like even if you literally got her to sign a fucking contract and say, I agree, we're going to have sex when you come over, I promise. Do you know how much pressure that is for her? Like, and I'm not saying you're pressuring her deliberately, but then what happens if she does freeze? You're basically saying, like, when you talk about pre-closing, you're basically saying, I'm taking away her ability to change her mind. And remember that most women, like I said, care deeply about safety and not being a slut. And especially if she's a repressed Catholic divorcee, my God, there must be a lot of shit in her head. If you're expecting a pre-close or a guarantee, think about the pressure that puts on her. That means she has to like absolutely commit to it. And what if she has a moment where she's like, fuck, I want to slow down a little bit? Or what if she freezes? Then she's going to feel guilty because she just promised you that you would have sex. Like, she's going to feel like a bitch.
Well,
And she's not, but
she's
like,
going to do it out of obligation.
yeah, you don't really want her to have sex out of obligation. You want her to have sex because she felt comfortable around you. And again, I said this before, man, but if you don't want to meet her, that's very okay too, man. Like, you don't, you don't have to meet her. Let's make that very clear.
Especially given it requires a flight
and money.
To see her, you've got every right to say, oh, I don't want to take a flight to see a woman.
Yeah.
And you've got every right to say, I do want to take a flight to see a woman. I like the idea of doing that, but don't expect a pre-close. You haven't said it. I'm now reading into your message, but there's kind of a hint of, are you implying that a woman can consent to sex well in advance of the moment? Because consent happens in the moment, right?
Yeah, that's the point. Like, stuff comes up and then maybe you change your mind, or you want to slow down, or sometimes you want to go faster.
If a woman I'm not saying anything you guys don't already know, so maybe words wasted, but if a woman says, yes, come over and we'll have sex, and then you go over to her place, and then she says, actually, I don't want to have sex. If you have sex with her, it's still grape. See what I'm saying? You didn't imply anything otherwise, but this idea of pre-close made me a bit uncomfortable. Pre-close, like getting a guarantee. I don't think you can have that. I think consent happens in the moment. You're maybe looking for assurance that it's going to happen if you go, but then I would agree with Andy. Just go there, being willing to deal with whatever happens and deal with not having sex.
Yeah. It's All Good Games makes a really good point here. He says, being under pressure is the number one way to kill all fun and joy in a situation, period.
100%.
Yes. And Stone Cold Chad, we're not even just talking about pressure on her. Pressure on you too, man. Like, if you say, I have to make sure she doesn't freeze, that's pressure on you. You're going to give yourself performance anxiety.
Yeah.
If you say, I'm going to go all this way and fuck, she better not freeze. I need to pre-close and guarantee the lay. I need to guarantee that she has sex with me. What are you going to do if you arrive there and all of a sudden she's like, hi, it's nice to see you. And you can see that she's shaking and she can't make eye contact with you because she's really nervous now. You're going to be like, fuck, I flew all this way. Oh God, I can't believe this is happening. Okay, I have to fix this. What do I have to do? God, I have to take her to a cafe and get her to calm down. I have to get her drunk. I have to put drugs in her, make her take anti-anxiety. Like, it's so much pressure on you too, man. Like, we're not even just saying don't put pressure on her. It's like, bro, don't put pressure on you.
I probably haven't said that enough. I think that's absolutely right.
Performance anxiety.
It's just two monkeys trying to figure something out together, you know?
Yeah.
Well, so when I said my famous quote, you know, I have no expectations, only curiosity. I said it to a woman who I did not subsequently have sex with. I meant it, and I didn't have sex with her.
Oh, didn't you? Holy shit. Every time I tell this story of this,
that's important.
I thought you said it to You know the woman you dated for a couple of years with kids? I thought you said this to her.
No, it was before her.
Was this was this at the festival?
That was the festival.
Fuck. Okay, I've been telling the story wrong.
Yeah,
not that it matters.
So I kind of like I mean, it's cool that someone puts something. It's cool that someone put something that I said into a photo frame, but I think it's especially cool that I meant it. Like I said it, meaning it.
Yeah, it wasn't just
we didn't have sex.
It wasn't just some cool line that you said. Yeah.
And we didn't have sex, and I didn't take it back.
Yeah. Yes. Same thing with Molly. I specifically told her so many times, look, if we never have sex together because you haven't had sex in a year and you've been through some bad experiences and you're not sure if you want this, like, I don't mind. I would happily just be your friend. Like, you're really cool. I would absolutely go on hikes with you and do art together and play music. Like, she's pretty cool. Like, I don't need you to fuck me.
Yeah.
And I say that to basically every girl, like every girl that's nervous. I'm like, look, I don't care if we have sex today. A lot of them are just like, wait, you don't care? Like, are you just saying that? Because that's not what they're used to from guys. Guys will usually say things, you know, kind of like you said, Stone Cold Chad, where you're like, how do I pre-close? How do I guarantee that she'll have sex with me? And fair enough, man. If you don't want to travel all that way without knowing what will happen, like, you don't have to.
Right.
But it's not about like getting a guarantee, because that guarantee doesn't mean anything, because you'll show up and then she might be nervous, and it doesn't matter that you guaranteed if her body freezes.
Yeah. Well, you got the guarantee. Then what happens when you arrive? You know.
Yeah, this is why I don't like enforce contracts and stuff like that with my business. You know how our friend Jesse, he talks about contracts and stuff. He works in a different industry, so fine.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't enforce contracts with people and be like, if you don't fucking pay this payment plan, I'm going to come after you and get lawyers and all of that, because it's like, that's just pressure on people.
Right.
What I've done instead, I've had a few people that like lose their job and they're like, fuck, man, I know I owe you all this money, but I can't pay it. And then I'm like, okay, how much could you comfortably pay each week? $5? And they're like, well, I could definitely pay you $5 a week. And then I'm like, all right, do you want me to put you on a payment plan of $5 a week? And then when you get back on your feet and you got some savings in the bank account, we can bump that back up. Does that work for you? I got an email from a guy. I won't show it on the screen, I guess, but like, he emailed me a couple of weeks ago and he said, Andy, when you lowered my payment plan, like all those years ago, that was like one of the most gracious things that anyone has ever done in my life. You have no idea how much that meant to me. And I was so afraid that I was going to be like a disappointment or let you down or just not, you know, pay what I owe. The fact that you let me pay, I think I said he could pay $10 a week or something until he got back on his feet. And he ended up paying it all off when he got a job. He was like, that made such a difference that you didn't pressure me and didn't like go to a lawyer or some shit or be like, well, you signed a fucking contract, bitch. Like, you owe me this money. And so often when we don't pressure people, they end up saying yes. And even if they don't, it's like, that's fine. We don't need them to say yes. The pressure just kind of like, it's all good games is saying here. He's like, look, I'm literally triggered when I'm under pressure when it's not necessary. I literally start feeling shivers in my body. So I feel, for me, a dirty feeling. I don't know how to phrase it other than that. I feel like the person
dungeon.
Yeah, I feel like the person is looking me in the fucking eyes and telling me something that isn't true. Like if I have a salesperson use sales techniques on me, or a woman not tell me the truth when I'm pretty sure I know the truth and she's just saying something else.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe this is a judgment, but my immediate thought is like, holy shit, this is a psychopath. You need to run away.
Yeah.
And like to some extent that's true.
I get that.
That's true. You're doing psychopathic behaviors if you don't care about the other person.
Yeah.
And you're just lying to get what you want. Isn't that psychopathy or sociopathy? Like close enough. I'm not diagnosing them as a psychopath, but the behavior is psychopathic in that moment. Psychopathic means not caring about other people's emotions or feelings or desires or anything like that. And
certainly unempathic.
Yeah. And so I agree with you. It's all good games.
And using people as like tools. A lot of contracts are that. And
look what he said. This. Yeah. I start feeling like the situation is very serious and I have to handle it like an adult. Like it's not fun and games anymore. It's serious. Yeah. And lots of people will use that on you, man, because then you start to feel like a child, like you feel like an infant, and this adult is like forcing you or yelling at you and you have to like submit to authority. It's the same thing that like police rely on in order to like, I guess, control the like population sort of thing, like enforce rules and laws.
Yeah.
The government does the same thing. Like The media does the same thing. Lots of pickup artists and dating coaches and stuff rely on this. They will act like the expert and tell you guys that you should do this, or you have to do this, or you're wrong if you're not doing this. And they make you feel like an infant, which is why I say to you guys all the time, I'm not going to tell you what you should do, because then you just become a child. You guys are men. I'm going to teach you how, or help you think for yourself, not tell you what to do.
This is how they got the population eating vegetables.
Yeah, this guy's a big carnivore keto, by the way, if I haven't already said that.
Anyone who still thinks humans need to eat vegetables to survive, start thinking more deeply about it.
That comment, look. No, sorry, I'm pointing on the screen. You got to look on the screen. I'm not pointing to my dick in real life. Did you think I was pointing to them?
Oh, your leg.
Okay. He said, yeah, you read it.
Most things in life are honestly not very serious, but we sure are made to believe they are. Especially in the heart of the moment. Yeah. That's if you're trapped in ego, which we all are.
Yeah. People will literally make things like, I need your love right now. I need you to say this to me. I need you to fuck me. I need to get laid. I need to like pre-close when I go to meet this woman. Like people, I've said this to Molly quite a lot. Human beings are really needy.
Yeah.
Like I cannot think of a more universally true statement than that. And they will often put, like, you guys are needy. I'm needy. Sometimes you're needy. And like, you will put something on someone else as if it's the most important thing that needs to happen, including opinions. Sometimes people will literally say like, I need you to believe the same opinion as me. It's like, no, you fucking don't.
Yeah.
Like nothing bad happens if I disagree with you, but they will act like, no, I need you to do this, or I need you to give me money. I need you to give me your pussy. I need this, or I can't be okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's just so much fucking pressure. And then you're right. It's all good games. It feels like very serious in the moment. Like, oh shit, they're saying I have to do this. And then you just default to infant mode and you go, oh shit, well, like I have to do this because that's what you were told as a child. If your parents said you have to do this or you must do this, you just did it because they're bigger than you. It's essentially, and you know how you like Stefan Molyneux and all of that in Peaceful Parenting?
Yeah.
They talk a lot in that. A lot of parents, they don't mean to be, but they're essentially bullying their kids.
Yeah.
Like, and the police do the same thing. Government does the same. Like, people just do the same thing. Men do the same thing to women. Women sometimes do the same thing to men. People will just use their power irresponsibly. Yeah. They will say, because I'm bigger than you. And a lot of parents will even say that. The kid will say, why do I have to do that? And the parent will be like, because I said so. And it's like, so you're bigger than me and you are literally the thing that is giving me life. Like, if you don't feed me, I will die. There is, the parent doesn't mean to or even know this, but there is an implicit threat behind a parent just ordering their children around without explaining why, without doing it with love. There is a threat of like, I will die or I won't be okay, or mommy won't love me, or like, I don't know, I'll get hit, I'll get sent to my room. There's always a threat. The same as police. There is like a threat of like, you're going to go to jail if you don't do this. And that's bad.
Yeah. The Matrix is built on threats.
Yeah. Yeah. And at some
physical and ego threats. If you don't believe this, you're a bad person.
Threatening your.
If you step outside this frame of thinking, then you're crazy. Sometimes that's true, but I think you're also crazy if you're stuck in the common frame of thinking because it's wrong. We could do 10 hours just on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's straight up wrong about so much.
Brady says, I just want to thank...
Including about death, I think.
Yes, I agree.
And that's critical.
The death is something to fear and be afraid of, and it's horrible, and it's this horrific thing, and we should avoid it at all costs, and yet no one has ever successfully avoided death. Yeah. No animal has, like...
Well, we don't even know what consciousness is. How can we talk about what happens after you die?
Yeah.
Okay, we're done with that. We're done with that. Until there's some solid information about the nature of consciousness, we're done with this fear of death nonsense. Now, if I'm about to die, you got reflexes. You're gonna be fearful and all that. But this chronic fear that some people have, everyone has to some extent.
I would say most people have like an underlying fear of death and like a fear of social death, like fear of rejection.
Yeah.
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 Brady says, I just want to thank you for your advice with talking to my girlfriend about goals and relationships. That's something I do with like every girl I've dated. Even the ones where we're just dating fairly casually. We will still talk about goals and I'll ask them what they want. Like there's a girl, I don't think I've told you about one of the women I'm seeing right now. Maybe I'll tell you after the stream so I don't repeat it.
Okay.
But yeah, she's just here probably temporarily, probably for the next 3 months we're going to date. And I've already been asking her,
Yep.
like, what do you want from life? Who do you want to be? And she's like, oh, I don't know. She's 20. She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, think about it if you want. And then she started saying things like, actually, I'm going to play it for you afterwards. She said, I haven't played the guitar in like 4 years since I was in high school. And I really like music. I like singing. I like writing lyrics. And I was like, do you want to do it? And she was like, I do, but like, I'm scared. And I was like, what if you just play for 30 seconds right now? And if you want to, you can send me a recording. And like an hour later, she sent me something. If I play it for you, I won't play it on the stream. But if I play it for you, you'll be like, holy shit, she's really good.
Okay, yeah, show me after the stream.
Yeah, I will. And so, yeah, even people I'm dating casually, I will talk about goals, like who do you want to be? What do you want from life? Like what's important to you? Do you feel like you people please sometimes? And everyone says yes to that. But yeah, I like talking to everyone about this. Molly and I talk a lot about goals, like so often. Like we'll keep each other accountable once a week. He goes on to say, we both have goals for 2026. We're going to help each other a lot this year. Yeah, that's cool. And it's really cool when you start to realize that you can do that in casual relationships. Like there's this idea that a casual relationship needs to have no intimacy, no connection, no uplifting each other, no benefit to each other other than my dick got wet and her pussy got filled. And it's like, why? Who came up with that? Like to spare yourself from heartbreak or something? Like, isn't it more heartbreaking to fuck someone for 6 months and not care about them? That to me seems more heartbreaking.
Isn't it heartbreaking to obsessively pursue sex, and then when you get it, it's just a cold mechanical thing that you do, and then you come out of it thinking you're higher status because you had sex? You probably actually are higher status in the Matrix, but I don't think anyone gains self-respect by having meaningless sex.
Yeah, it's temporarily.
Does anyone disagree with that statement?
It's temporarily satisfying. A lot of people think that that's what they want.
Yeah, you have to judge it days later.
Yeah. Do you remember your quote? You can never have enough.
Yeah, I didn't come up with that one.
Okay.
Yeah. You can never get enough of something that almost works.
Yeah, that almost satisfies.
That almost
Yeah.
satisfies. That's how I feel about potato chips. The reason I know it's not real food is because it never actually makes you feel satisfied.
Or lollies or candy, like sugar
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could just eat 10,000 kilograms of like lollies and candy,
Yeah.
throw up, and then be like, well, I want more.
Yeah.
I can't do that with steak or chicken or anything like that. Yeah.
It gets to a point where you're full and comfortable.
Yeah.
That's why I call that food. Getting on a digression. I'm going to shut up about food. No one gives a shit. All right. Next question.
It's All Good Game says, thought experiment. If you were literally invulnerable, as in, I guess so you could live forever and you could never die, nothing can hurt you, would you have anxiety? I think you'd still have residual anxiety for a while because you wouldn't believe it. You'd want to test it out. But no, I think eventually, yeah, you'd be pretty chill because nothing would have consequence. So, you know the movie Groundhog Day with...
Yeah.
So he eventually has no anxiety anymore because he's died thousands of times.
Right.
So yeah, I think eventually you'd have no anxiety. But then I think also life would be devoid of meaning. I think life is meaningful because it's temporary.
Yeah. Agree totally. I don't think I have anything to add. I also struggle with hypotheticals like that because if I was made invulnerable, I think I got no idea what effect it would really have.
Yeah, a lot of the time we're just not very good at knowing what would happen in a hypothetical. That's why. So Cam here in the chat, this is Cam, my friend, like that I work with, like business partner, friend,
you
fellow
mentioned
coach.
Cam.
Yep. He talks a lot, and he says he doesn't like hypotheticals because it's like it's not reality. So like we can have fun with a hypothetical. And like this was just a fun little thought experiment. Thought experiments can be useful and fun, but like you don't want to live in the hypothetical. And a lot of people live in the hypothetical their entire life. Like they'll live in the past hypothetical. Like they'll say, I missed out on the college experience, for instance, or I had a bunch of women reject me when I was younger. I wish it had been different. And it's like you're living in a hypothetical world that doesn't exist. You're ignoring the current reality and you're expending headspace living in some fake make-believe where you got laid a bunch as a younger man. Or you'll do the same in the present or the future. You'll say, I wish I was getting laid right now. It's not fair and I'm not getting laid. And then you don't do anything to improve it. You're living in a false reality of like, I wish I was in the world where I'm getting laid right now. And it's like, okay, but like, who's going to fucking do the dishes in the kitchen right now while you're busy in fairyland? Someone needs to do the dishes. Someone needs to go outside. And you don't need to, but like, don't you want to go outside and talk to women? You're literally not acting because you're living up here in headspace. And so the less time we can spend in the past or the future, or like make believe, and the more time we can spend here in reality actually doing something about life,
Yeah.
then we can actually get the life we want.
I think it's probably a dose makes the poison situation. So we're not saying never engage in hypotheticals, right?
Correct. We're just saying don't live there.
Yeah. How much,
Don't stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how much energy you're putting into it, and what is it doing to you, and what are your framing of
It's probably
what
that. Yeah.
framing are you putting on your hypotheticals?
Yeah.
When you ask a hypothetical question, always reflect back on why did I frame it that way? Because I bet you with every hypothetical question, there is some exposure of underlying assumptions.
Like, am I just being negative in this hypothetical?
Yeah, but why did I frame it that way? Because it's hypothetical, right?
Hmm.
It means it's a situation I made up. Why did I make up that situation and not a different one? There's always information in that because there's a choice being made to formulate that hypothetical, and it's always going to reveal something about that person's underlying framing. So when you make a hypothetical, take the opportunity to reflect back on why do I want to ask that hypothetical? There's an infinity of hypotheticals you could ask. Why did I choose that one? What does it reveal about me? My general message, if I can have a message, I don't know why I get to have a message. I think everyone gets to have a message. Mine is always reflect back on your underlying assumptions. Yeah, every time you can, without it becoming a pathology, right?
Yeah, without you being obsessed with it and living there, like I said. Yeah,
dose makes the poison again, but
yes,
but do it often.
Yeah. Brian says, what are your thoughts on the law of attraction and the movie The Secret? So I haven't seen The Secret, but I know the law of attraction. I say like manifestation and law of attraction, all of that. A lot of it is like absolutely correct. Like the mindset that you have. If you think something's not possible or you think it is possible, you're correct. Like whichever one you think, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're correct. However, I would also add in taking action. I think a lot of people with the law of attraction, maybe not to gender it, but a lot of women do this, where they'll have manifestations on their bathroom mirror, like, I love myself and all of that. And that stuff's helpful. And then you'll say like, okay, and what action are you taking on top of that? Like, you really hate your job and you're miserable there. Are you doing anything to work somewhere where you'd be happier? And they're like, no. Okay, like you absolutely are lonely and wish you had more friends. Are you doing anything to meet new people? No. So I would say take action as well. I think just sitting there and trying to manifest stuff without taking any action, like why would that ever do anything? Like have the mindset and then take the action.
I guess at a minimum, if you're trying to manifest something, you at least put it on your radar so that you notice opportunities to achieve that thing. And you might notice there were already doors open that were always open, but you didn't notice before. I think at a minimum, it does that, if not a lot more. I don't know how far. It's an idea I'm still exploring because I'm open to the possibility that there are spiritual powers that bring things into being, but it's a dark magic, and if you try to control them, then it sucks your soul. I don't know, I'm making this up, but the possibilities are broad.
Yeah, you don't know is what you're saying.
It's an interesting topic, and I encourage exploration of it. I'm exploring it, and sometimes being open to things that turn out to be crazy is still of value.
Yes.
Don't be afraid of being a bit crazy. Yeah, it's another dose makes the poison.
Yeah,
it's about how crazy you get. Don't think you can avoid entertaining crazy ideas. If you like the sound of these kinds of ideas, explore them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
With an open mind.
I'm busting to go to the toilet. I'm going to go to the toilet.
Okay.
Wish me luck.
Yep. He'll be back in a sec. I will hold over. I think we'll start finishing up soon in a second. Anyway, Brandon says Merry Christmas. Hello, Mr. Brandon. How you doing? Tino says, hey, Andy, thanks for all your work. I'm a 40-year-old or 40-plus-year-old virgin, and I get very sad around the holidays, being alone and not being able to accept that no girl ever wanted to date me. That is exactly why we're doing these Christmas live streams, brother. So I'm glad you're here. We literally are doing these for those of you who don't feel like you have someone to hang around with over Christmas. Like, that's what we're here for, man. You say being able to accept that no girl ever wanted to date me. I would question that, man. I have worked with a lot of guys who are virgins in their 30s, a couple in their 40s, quite a lot in their 20s. Every single one of them says the same thing as you. no girl ever wanted to date me. But then if I get them to actually sit and meditate and be very quiet with it and actually think about it, every single one of them had several girls that they thought might have been into them, but they didn't make a move on her. They played it safe, or they were too scared, or they believed, like you are, that no girl ever wants to date them. And so they didn't really try as hard. And it's very easy to say, no, but I did try. Yeah, you probably have tried a lot, man. But sometimes there are certain actions that we might need to take, and we're not doing those actions. And then we use that as evidence and say, look, no woman likes me. Yeah, because you didn't do the things that might be required to meet a woman, like talking to hundreds of women, maybe like, I don't know anything about you. If you're morbidly obese, maybe lose some weight, maybe put a little more effort into your clothes, maybe work on the self-love, like any of those things. Work on liking yourself. We talk a lot in this community about self-love. And, you know, you said, I'm sad because I feel like no woman likes to date me or wants to date me. I would work on the self-love, man. Like if you can get to a point, which is possible for you, if you can get to a point where you're happy, whether or not there's a woman there or not, ironically, women then want to be around that man, the man that really likes himself. I would also, because you're 40, and I'll say this gently. Actually, I'm going to say it kind of clumsily, man. I hope this lands like gently. Why the fuck are you a 40-year-old virgin? Why the fuck are you a 40-year-old virgin? I think we both know if you're going to go really deep and be really honest with yourself, you've had a lot of chances to lose it. You could go to an escort. Okay, so do you see what I mean? You go on to say, I lost my virginity, so now you're just lying. Yeah. See? So we do this thing where we hold on to identities and we're like, I'm a 40-year-old virgin. I had sex, but I'm a 40-year-old virgin. And it's like, I've just coached enough guys that do this. Sometimes we're so attached to our labels, man. And actually, sorry, no. I made a mistake. Sorry. It's all good games. My bad. I thought it was the same. Yeah, dude. Your fucking icons look the same. Okay, my bad. So, Tino, to go back a step, like I said, I would say to myself, why am I still a virgin? I could go to an escort and lose it today. I am clearly choosing to hold on to something. There's part of me that wants to hold on to this. Why? What am I getting out of my label as a 40-year-old virgin? You might be getting comfort out of that, complacency. It might stop you from having to try and to challenge yourself and to do things that can be scary, like putting yourself out there, going on dates, talking to women. That stuff can be scary. So sometimes we choose comfort, and the pain of being a virgin is at least something that's consistent and you're used to it by now. And sometimes that is far less scary than having to put yourself out there and meet some women and take risks and all of that. So yeah, after this live stream, man, because we're going to finish up in a second, I would start to explore a little bit and be like, what am I getting out of being stuck as a virgin? Because every single fucking man on the planet is capable of having sex. Like you just are. No matter what you think, you're absolutely capable of it. And so I would start exploring, why am I attached to my current story? And that's not to blame you. Like, don't blame yourself with that, but just start asking questions curiously. Why am I sticking to this? Do you want to come back and we'll say goodbye?
Yeah.
I think we'll wrap up, guys. This was the longest live stream we've done in a little while.
Hey, this was interesting.
Yeah, you had fun.
I didn't know how I was going to go. It's going to be interesting to watch it back. The challenge of being interesting and concise is a challenge. And I think it gives me some ideas on how to be it can give me some ideas on how to be a more compelling and charismatic person. I think that's what I'm going to try to take out of this, how to be a better speaker.
A better or what's it called? Orator. Orator? Is that the word? Speaker.
Yeah,
Orator.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think you did a great job, man.
The pronunciation feels wrong, but the more you think about a word, the weirder it sounds. So
yeah,
we'll let that go.
Also, Tino, before we finish up, so Tino, if you come tomorrow, so you asked this like right at the end of the stream, man. If you come tomorrow, you can talk more about this with us. Like everything I just said there wasn't like the final answer, man. Like you're welcome to come tomorrow and open up about this. But yeah, all right, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow. Timur won't. He'll be doing cool people shit.
I'll be working.
Yeah, you will. Yeah. Yeah. All right. See you guys. Legends.